Everybody, can you hear me? Video's not live yet, but it will be here in just a minute. We are ready to go live finally. Unlike last week and the week before, which were entirely my fault. Finally, it's back to Kurt's fault again. So we're trading weeks. Every week it's going to be one of our faults. So without further ado, the only person who doesn't seem to be at fault here ever is Mac. And here we all are. And Mac now has a fire coming out of his head. That's kind of awesome looking.
Yeah, I like the position.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
And Kurt looks like we were talking earlier in chat, and I say earlier because it's been like an hour. And so we had a lot of time to chat about staying up for days on end, doing things, and you look like you've suffered that for the last couple days.
Yeah.
You look like I always did at the end of 2-3 days of that fun stuff.
Well, when it's such a harrowing set of circumstances that you're dealing with that that you just time loses all meaning except for whatever the problem you're dealing with is.
Right.
And you look at the clock and you don't remember 14 hours going by. And also you don't remember the last time you stood up or had a glass of water or anything.
And then you try and stand up and you realize it's been a little too long.
Yeah, and then you look in the mirror and one of your eyes is completely and utterly blood red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe most people in this chat have had those days. We are that kind of a crowd. While we were waiting, we had all kinds of fun talk in chat, and for some reason, the hype train happened, which happens when you're late. People are like trying to draw you out by subscribing or something, and it's amazing. But while it happened, the hype train thing broke, and it got stuck on 08. With the seconds left, and I threw out there that one, the best gift anyone could ever give me in my life, which maybe sometime in the next decade happens, would be an actual original 808. That would be the most amazing freaking device. Like, I want that sitting on my desk right here. But then I realized what I actually want is apt 808 to exist, and for it to be hackers with beats, because I want this to be a thing.
Yes, just start shit posting with app.
I'm just
identifiers.
We need app 808. It just needs to exist now. So that's where we got with chat while we were waiting for your setup to finally be ready and for you to have some water in you.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh. Nothing hits like the 808. I tell you, my first introduction to it was literally the band named 808 State. Band. I say it was one person, doing the same thing that everyone else with those synths was doing, sitting in a basement by himself making music, right? But it was some awesome stuff. We should definitely play around with a little of that. One of my good friends has all of this audio equipment. Like, he has a room full of like just 60 vintage synths and drum machines and keyboards and all kinds of other stuff. How, I don't know. I'm sure there's interesting stories how this poor person has acquired all this equipment. Maybe we can have fun talking about that on one stream with him one day. But he definitely has less money than me, but way more equipment. And that could be, those could be correlated. Maybe that's where all the money's going. Who needs food?
Exactly. You do the whole ramen diet thing and you're good to go.
So I did already eat tonight. I don't know about you, but because we had so much time while we were sitting there chatting, I did have pizza, everyone. I want to thank chat for that.
I found a dried out, I think it was probably a week old, 2 slices of pizza. They were rock hard and all dry, and they were just there, so I ate them. I should probably get something else.
I mean, I shouldn't laugh at that, but you deliver it so straight-faced, that's good comedy. Like, the way you deliver that.
I wasn't joking.
Wow, okay. Yeah, you should have other food.
Yeah, no, when I'm straight-faced like that and I say something that unbelievable, it's probably not a lie or a joke.
Okay. Hey, chat.
Don't let anyone know how I live.
Damn it. I mean, there you. I have backgrounds. You have backgrounds. Ain't nobody seeing this room. It's the best thing about green screens becoming so cheap. People don't have to see it now.
That is absolutely true.
Until something goes wrong.
Well, I would say, chat, if you want to, do I have space reverb on? Do I? No, I do not. But if I'm reverbing like that, that's pretty awesome. That's a pretty cool sound, I gotta say.
And there's been no sleep because I've been dealing with all kinds of shit.
Yeah,
all kinds of shit. Some that I will probably get into here, some that I won't get into, and some that is just stressful on behalf of friends that we will definitely be discussing.
Indeed. And so you ran into all kinds of fun over the last week, some which we can talk about. You know, it's obvious because it was so public, but some that, definitely, needs to just be kept between us. But one of the things that happened this week that just blew my mind about how, and this is going to sound weird, but how strange your week started going, was when your week was so out of whack that Louise Mensch actually felt bad and reached out to me, someone she hasn't talked to like directly on purpose for like 5 years, asking me to contact you to make sure you were okay. Which of course you were, but like just when Louise Mensch is showing that she cares about someone, I feel like something's wrong with the world.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could take it two ways. One, yeah, there was some very, very, very deeply wrong things with the alignment of the planets and electromagnetic fields.
Phase
and
of the moon.
Everybody was going fucking crazy. Or you take a look at some news that just was going around earlier today, where an elderly man, had a wellness call to his house, and because he was feeling suicidal, and he dies anyway because the police shot him.
Yeah, wellness checks are not a nice thing to do to people. You think they are, but they end wrong way too often for it to be the first
Send an
move.
ambulance. Don't send cops.
Yeah, exactly.
Never send cops.
Yeah, it's not
Ever.
a good idea.
Ever.
Yeah, exactly. ACAB.
ACAB. Yeah, even when you send them to stop a guy from killing themselves, they'll still fucking murder a dude.
Well, now suicide is
Only
illegal.
sometimes.
They've got to stop the crime before it happens.
Oh.
I'm just wondering how they justify this shit in their heads. Like, how do they sleep after doing shit like that?
He's got a gun. It's aimed at his own head. Kill him.
He's got a hostage. Take him out.
Oh my god, that's so horrible. I'm gonna cut all of this from YouTube. Oh wow. Yeah. So we talked about this last time, about Tillie, about all the fun alleged hacking going on, and about the fact that Tillie's in Switzerland and is not extraditable at this point, but doesn't mean the DOJ doesn't have power to mess with them, like really mess with them. So the computer was taken, questioning, all that fun stuff. Assumptions were made by everyone, you, me, and the world, that any communications from previous were probably compromised, or at best just don't use those channels anymore.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where we were. And then now we have an actual indictment that's come out where we can read all about what supposedly upset them.
Not only that, but a bench warrant for an arrest.
Yes, which is the standard thing of now you can't enter America ever because at the airport you're getting arrested.
Yeah, pretty much. And if you actually take a look at the indictment, it is a whole lot of horse shit, really.
The idea that they think it is so much worse, like they think the fact that she talked to the press is worse than the act itself, it seems, when I read that indictment. Like, they were more upset at the media making the company look bad than they were about the hack. And that right there screams of all kinds of problems about free speech and about press freedoms and any forms of disclosure and whether hackers should be talking to journalists.
That's the most offensively egregious one.
Yeah.
And then it nosedives there from egregious to the pure absurd. Like I don't think I've ever quite seen somebody ban-evading from a service being used as a CFAA violation, but there's a first time for everything.
Yeah. And as chat says,
she got banned and created another Twitter account to sidestep the ban. This was accessing a computer system without authorization and violation of the terms of service.
Terms of service violations in the United States of America are indeed federal crimes. I wrote an article about it a long time ago, calling out the DOJ for making literally the entirety of our country felons by doing so. Because everyone's a felon. If you accessed anything on the internet before you were 13 years old, every terms of service on every website says no, because of the various laws about data on underage people, and so every single one of you committed a felony.
A real funny thing to do is go and find some like JavaScript or something on a server that probably shouldn't be exposing it, and go and add a script tag for that fucking JS file on a heavily trafficked site. You are making every single one of your visitors a criminal.
Yeah.
That is the absurd extent at which the CFAA likes to drum up a case. On top of that, self-promotion was demonized. No, it wasn't really self-promotion.
Well, selling T-shirts was demonized.
Selling T-shirts and making a whole $1
was demonized. Yeah, I mean, total profit was like $1 by the end of that.
That was conspiracy to commit wire fraud.
Hacker T-shirt are wire fraud now. This is that problem where they try to over-prosecute you to the point where you get scared and plead to the smaller thing, like they tried with Barrett Brown and everyone else.
They also want to scare you from like openly shit posting.
Right.
with such a blatant...
Shit posting is now a federal felony.
Yeah, so you
so 4chanarchive.org has to go down.
Shit posting with a blatant and wanton criminal, and an association with this criminal, that's we're gonna make that a crime. So you can understand right now how I'm feeling at this exact moment.
Right.
Because boy, some things were avoided that could have really snowballed and ended up really fucking bad. I'm not going to get into any of it, but I opened that indictment, and I didn't even get off of the first page before I was already clenching in places in my lower regions.
I read it and was like, man, I've been trying to avoid breaking, the major laws for the last, few years, because like I'm just too public. But under these interpretations, there's no avoiding them. Yeah. Like, it's impossible, actually. Well, then, what signal does that send me?
Yeah, so it's at that point, you're just like, okay, you know what? This is so fucking ridiculous that, okay, Tillie, you made another account. We're gonna keep shit posting on, just completely make a fucking mess of this whole goddamn thing. Because, realistically speaking, this is just the United States going and strong-arming territories that are not the United States. And I don't take too kindly to that in the first place. That's why anytime people send me a DMCA request, I go and tell them to...
yeah, do other things.
I'm not gonna tell you what I say to them.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
and I'm Canadian, so my response is, instead of going for the out of jurisdiction legalese, maybe you should have tried saying please and thank you,
Yeah,
and
it's not
we would have
hard.
gotten somewhere.
Yeah, it's really not hard for people to just be nice instead of lawyering up first. The first attempt should always be asking, you know. I'm a big fan of the handshake. You know what I mean? Like, I don't
Exactly.
need your lawyer calling me. Like, ask
I
me
am
nicely. I might play along.
I'm a massive fucking abrasive asshole when it comes to trying to make me play along with copyright law,
Right.
especially copyright law that does not apply
Outside of
within
the U.S.,
Canada.
yeah.
And I'm very straightforward about this, and I will say that over 15 years, I have had two people ask me kindly, and
Just not enough.
I graciously did as they asked me politely to do. They didn't go into the law. They didn't go and send me a incorrectly formatted DMCA request.
Right.
By the way, if you send me a DMCA, I've never actually received one that is correctly formatted. So that immediately disqualifies it, and I have every purview to drag you until the ends of the earth. So there's also that.
Right?
Yeah, it's
Good
the whole
times.
thing. Yeah, good times.
So
Yeah, when it comes to stupid laws, that don't even fucking make sense, and yeah, you're better off just making them look like a damn joke. As in the case of the undue persecution of Tillie,
yeah.
the trans demon hacker Tillie,
Yes.
who is so evil and so calculating, so conniving, so malicious that she is Googling things and
Yeah.
going, "Hey guys, check out what I found on Google."
Yeah, again, it needs to be made really clear that the credentials to get into Verdaka's systems were Googleable. They were on a
All of it.
public-facing page that you could pull up just by Googling. That right there should exempt anyone from the crime of using said credentials. It should instead entirely be on the company, and they should be held liable to any damages any of their clients want to claim.
I mean, I always
That
thought,
level of security from a security firm, again, kills me.
I mean, I always
Yes.
thought
On top of that,
Yeah.
sorry, Mac. On top of that, the fact that it's a government hospital and other like high level core facility contract that they're letting this third party vendor in with this absolute and utter disgrace of security posture. Like, oh my god, y'all are pointing your ire at the wrong fucking thing. End of the day. The cameras aren't even the worst of it. You can get a root shell on any of those cameras. Single button. Maintenance shell.
Yeah.
You're in the internet.
Yeah,
Hi.
you're on their local LAN at that point with a shell that will allow you to execute a lot of commands. And moving laterally, as we've said many times here, is easy inside of those networks because nobody spends the money it takes to defend the internals. They think they can keep you out.
They build a big, strong wall, and they don't really care much about what goes on the inside. It's not even comparable. They might have some measures. They might have, you know, internal certificate pinning and stuff so that you can't like easily man in the middle within that internet. But beyond that, that is bare minimum for any large corporate network at this point.
Yeah.
You can wreak havoc. Like if you're in there and you're able to read data, you're able to read files, you're able to do anything whatsoever, it's pretty much game over. It's a matter of time. It's all about patience at that point.
Well, look at database systems, like a lot of them that default to no security, no password, no nothing, and their response is your database shouldn't be accessible to the open internet. Well, that's fine. So someone's got one of these NoSQL servers, of which there are many, that come default with no password, and they're told, just don't expose it to the internet. Or, of course, password it if you want. But a lot of them take the advice of just don't expose it to the internet. Well, that's fine. But then when I get on the internal intranet, I can now access all the data because it's unprotected to the internal network where the app is that's supposed to be accessing it. Again, there's no version of this where big companies are properly handling this at any scale. There are the few clients that afford some of the big expensive tools, but very few.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And you can spend a lot of money on all these big tools and shit, but again, if you don't have a team that knows how to use them properly, or you don't implement properly, you're still fucked.
Yeah, there are lots of tricks. Alcoholicorn there are lots of tricks to internal networks that don't involve using the big expensive software to mitigate a fair amount of the damage. But at that point, you run into other things that I would hope your internal systems are doing, like this system never touches the internet, and it's really critical. So we are going to not patch it this week, even though there's a 0-day out there. And now that I'm on your internal network, it doesn't matter that I don't have real permissions to that server. Your shit ain't patched. I'm getting in. There's a lot of there's a lot more.
It's done. They patch it. You're still in there. It doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah,
right?
I'm just saying. In internal network stuff and really doing the work it's just a complicated thing. It's much more complicated than firewalls. At this point, firewalls are very rote. They're understood. We have them. You can buy them from different vendors, whichever one you choose.
They're very easy to bypass.
Yeah, but here we go. Like, if you get a proper stateful firewall from a big vendor and it's configured by someone who really knows what they're doing, 99% of the automated attempts to get through it are not going to work. But that's sort of irrelevant, right? Because that 1% is the people like you who have decided that I'm getting in. And that 1% is always going to get through. There's always going to be a way, unless you have pulled the cable for the weekend and your shit is unpowered.
Security is and always will be a lie. All we have are mitigations and constant monitoring and due diligence. The moment you stop looking for a moment, you're fucked.
Exactly.
You might not know it, but you probably are. Period. End of the day.
I'm sure everyone can tell that Kurt has had a fight on his hands for a few days here. A little less energetic tonight.
A lot. I've had a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, you haven't had one fight on your hands. You've had a few. Like, the world has been coming at you. Like, you've had one of those weeks we all just try our best to avoid.
I mean, you try to avoid them, I guess.
And I've argued with you about attempting to avoid them every now and then, and you say you enjoy it.
Yeah, I do. I enjoy adversarial conflict, and that confuses many people.
It does.
Almost nonstop, really.
You seem to always come out the other side on top, so that's fine. But like, it's hairy to watch sometimes.
They don't expect it.
No, they do not. So I will say this without going into too much detail. A lot of your current fun is related to the fact that Gab has supporters somehow, and they were mad at you.
I don't understand why they're mad at me. All I'm doing is I'm teasing Andrew Torba. I am absolutely and utterly dragging his fragile ass left, right, and center.
You are the demon that he has prophesized.
Yes. Does that mean that I have absolutely anything whatsoever to do with any actual criminal activities that seem to have impacted their services and made them look like a joke in the first place? Well, no. There is nothing there. There is hearsay. There is a hit piece that is trying to directly.
Oh yeah, there's some fake shit.
There's some really, really funny fake shit. And that fake shit, I like it. That hit piece made me laugh. Like I was laughing.
I mean, it was funny.
And people started looking me up, and as a result of that hit piece, and commenting to them about, oh my god, this guy, like, wow, like, are you sure you want to mess with this guy? And so they were like, wait, what? And then as they found more shit about me that is factual and proven and well corroborated, so on and so, like, every single thing that made me seem more and more badass and terrifying, they would add a countering statement that would be like, well, this was claimed, but with absolutely no proof. And this was done, but we have external confirmation it never actually happened, and was a script. Like just nonstop list of them trying to essentially lie about one thing in guilt, and then try to make everybody that actually listens to them not believe all of the actual things that are true. Like the United Nations shit that I did with Sakura Samurai, that is being passed around some circles as proof that I am a on the run fugitive, vigilante hacker, demon
Obviously,
hacker.
I mean, those servers behind you are like in a backpack.
Oh yeah.
Because one of the Twitter accounts that publicized that we had done that responsible research and disclosure was a UK cybercrime police account, like a verified Scotland Yard police account or something along those lines.
Yeah.
So because cops are tweeting about something I did, that means I'm a criminal. Thank you.
It doesn't mean you're not a criminal.
Well,
it just,
thank you for the hype. You are wonderful. I love you.
Yes, it's always nice to have people just completely conflating things that just don't actually say what they think they say, and then publicly like writing a big article about it full of obvious holes. Like every bit of it is like just so wrong.
I know, right? And on top of that, like they're trying to get a Canadian nailed for fucking around with properties and people that are known to be Proud Boys or Nazis or stuff. It's like, good luck with that one. Our CMP is gonna laugh up a storm. I'll tell you that much.
He attacked a terrorist. Well,
that man right there, that man's a Canadian patriot, and and thank you for doing a service to us all.
Well, you brought this one up, and I'm gonna say, the news hit today that 4 more Proud Boys have been indicted, including people who run big chapters. Ethan Nordine, Joe Biggs, that's a big one. Zach Rail and Charles Donahoe have all been indicted for conspiracy to plot and plan what happened on January 6th. Not only that, but the co-conspirator that isn't named but is just co-conspirator in the thing gave up all the chat logs to their various private encrypted chats. And so like in the indictment is the names of their chat channels, the contents of the chats. So all of the stuff that they did is in the government's hands, and there are multiple people having problems. Now, what I think is funnier is that it's unnamed co-conspirator, and I kind of, based on how high level this chat had to have been, being that it was like Joe Biggs and Noradine and a few of the people who, well, the only people above them in the organization are like Enrico Tario. There's very few people above them in the organization. That the co-conspirator was probably a Tario. If I'm looking at this, because we now know that he was talking up a storm.
Indeed.
That I think might be fucking hilarious. I'm hoping it was, just because like that would be a good way for them to all go down.
It really
like
is.
They deserve everything coming to them.
Although, I mean, it could be a different chapter who was in the chat. Tario might not have been a part of that. He'd gotten in trouble just before assigned Nordine guy in chat.
Possible, it's possible. Like all of it's hearsay at this point. We're guessing.
Sure. It's all speculation.
We're just we're living here with high hopes that they definitely had problems. the fact that all their encrypted chat logs, they moved to a different chat system, the indictment says, changed channels, invited only trusted people, and the next one, the entire logs went straight to the feds. So whoever they trusted was wrong. But we know they're not good at this because in multiple of those channels, I don't know how better to say this, but we had people in those channels too. You know, and like if you've gotten into one of their old planning channels like years ago, and you've just sat there idling the entire time and not said a word, they will keep inviting you along. So I know someone who was in one of those channels. He's in one of the other chats that we all hang out in, and unless they've had reason to suspect you of being a problem, even if you've never said a word, they just keep bringing you along to the new chat. Like, they do no due diligence. They have no idea what they're doing. Their OPSEC is so bad. They had no coding to their radio system. If you had a radio on the right frequency, they thought you were the guy in charge. So there were people on the ground like just calling shit out that was not even close to true.
I'm almost like the shit you're saying. Like I'm like actually dissociating because it's that absolutely absurd. Then I'm like I'm spacing out here and being like, no, there's no. This
if the
isn't
president
reality.
of the United States wasn't with them, a group that disorganized and that bad at OPSEC would not have gotten into the Capitol, I don't think. Like, if the president wasn't on their side, these people were not smart enough to pull this off. I mean,
we've had reporting now that the FBI did find at least one Proud Boy and the White House beat up. So,
Proud Boy visited the White House directly.
Yeah, we had that.
Yeah, like Tario literally went and took a picture outside of the White House saying I was invited. Like, ugh. So anyways, 4 more of them going down. Joe Biggs with the big indictment, which fuck Joe Biggs. Joe at one point really thought me and him were friends. This was back all the way at Occupy times. And he was a big fan of Barrett for like about 3 weeks, and was all over us about doing shit, about talking about maybe, doing a podcast, just a million things back then, and then very quickly realized we were not his people, and then got very angry with us, and has hated us ever since. And I'm just so happy that, like, someone who's really hated me for like a decade has been proven to be this stupid, this bigoted, this much of a Nazi and a racist bastard, and is now in trouble. Like, I like it when I don't have to do anything to my enemies. They're just dumb enough to do it to themselves.
Oh, I know. That is absolutely the best feeling that one could ever have. It truly is.
Yeah.
Just sit back and watch. It's like, yeah, no,
you fucking you little twerp. Yeah, I'm just gonna sit back, kick back, and relax here and watch you get hoisted by your own petard. It really is just every time.
So I wanna.
And that's funny because that happens more often than not when you're dealing with this specific category of shithead.
Yeah, they're not smart. Intelligent people don't have the belief systems that these people have. So it's just it's how it is. But I want to follow this one up with something I have found entertaining and happy. I'm gonna show an image on screen here, and well, this is a wonderful image provided to us by the great and powerful Doxy of a gorilla in a Lambo, and this is a reference to Wall Street Bets, who all like to call themselves gorillas. And it is related to the fact that they've been doing that, and then they've also been doing this. So the Dian Fossey Gorilla Fund is, they run, big wildlife preserves. They do a lot of work and research on saving gorillas, on saving their land, on releasing gorillas back into the wild after bad treatment by humans. Like, everything you can imagine that would be needed for conservation of gorillas as a species, they do. And because Wall Street Bets has decided to kind of memify themselves as gorillas instead of, the standard other things, they decided to also, in like half of the threads of the last 2 weeks, be pushing for everyone to donate some of your tendies to the Dian Fossey Gorilla Fund, and they have sent that was of course from the 18th
Stonks out
yesterday.
for Harambe.
So they have broken the 400,000 mark now, and so Wall Street Bets is helping the actual gorillas, and I just thought that would be a good thing to kind of show everyone. Like that's funny. That is how memes become real world action. Like it's just and the fact that the Dian Fossey Gorilla Fund is tweeting it out, like they know what's going on and they know what a joke it is, but also they're happy to be part of the joke. Like they are totally like, yes, memeify us all you want. Just give us the money.
Speaking of memifying, can we take a moment and can we revisit the events that took place immediately following last week's show?
Okay.
Last Friday.
Yeah.
When I was like, hey, I need to relax. I need to take my mind off some things.
We all watched like an entire evening of you gaming and morning.
Yeah.
Because you kept going.
Yeah, and what exact? I just.
Oh, you watched someone steal both of our stories and make it into a video game.
Yeah, and
people in the chat stories too. Like there were a ton of people involved in this.
Yeah. So I was sent a copy of Watchdogs 2 by a good friend of mine. Because this friend knew that I was going to absolutely and utterly suffer in the deepest portions of my soul playing this piece of AAA entertainment.
And only the right kind of friend can send you that too.
Exactly. And like it's a good game to shut your mind off and just go and try not to think about how you can hack a sewer grate and then turn it into a geothermal explosion.
Right, or first day hacker Olympics of breaking into a giant secure building just to test the noob. Like that, that's real.
Yeah, you gotta bust into the data center. You gotta go and redact your own government surveillance data.
Yeah, like that's a thing. But whatever. I mean, the file probably exists on all of us, but I'm just saying, first day hacker, the test isn't go break into this place with guns.
Yeah. So. A couple major missions in, they do the whole introduction, and then there are two missions back to back. One that leads into the one that actually makes anybody like us start screaming in terror. There is a car that is a riff off of Knight Rider, like a modern smart car Knight Rider.
Yep, it was absolutely Kit. It was.
It was Kit, 100%. But it isn't exactly clear that the actor that is taking the leading role from where the Hoff would be is Tom Cruise.
Yes.
So you steal Kit, you mod it, and then you joyride it through the thing. You just go destroy a bunch of shit, and then you drive it through a billboard. Because you as a group were highly offended that this movie made hackers look like a joke.
Yep.
And by the way, like this is Watchdogs 2, just to be clear.
Yeah.
So you upload the video to YouTube, and this is the lead-in. The video of you destroying a car in municipal property and making Tom Cruise's stand-in look like a joke is his managing religious people. See where I'm going with this? Did a DMCA takedown on the promotional video for your merry hacking gang called DeadSec. Really, it doesn't end. It really doesn't end. Next thing you know, I see a DMCA request, and then they start talking about a cult, and I start breaking out in a sweat.
And then they start talking about auditing. Like they don't even mask it at that point.
They do a whole on they
they audit the Tom Cruise stand-in.
They audit him. They have the fucking op promotional videos with a masked person with a voice transformer, and then you drive to the church and there's protesters standing outside the church,
all
and
masked up and looking like tanners look like when they go outside.
And the signs include shit like the internet says hi, and
exactly like our first series of protests.
Yes. And I'm screaming. I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. It's like, what? They didn't. No. This can't be happening right now.
They remade Chanology as part of DedSec in Watchdogs 2.
I gotta say,
there is a full-on Chanology parody.
Yeah.
I gotta say though, nothing says how successful Chanology was like a AAA game outright just openly mocking Scientology.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's just, I was watching that with you. I mean, I was in chat. We were talking during it. It was, that was insane.
Your reactions were, oh, wow. Wow. This is happening.
I almost think like they owe you and me money.
I was saying that. I was like, did they talk to anybody about this?
Chat?
Did they consult anybody about this? Do you know any
names? Somebody did, but it wasn't us.
No, it turns out the lead writer of Watchdogs 2 is actually somebody that was so completely enamored with old/B culture and Anonymous in general that they had a reverence for it.
Nice.
And you know, they did their own thing. And wow, okay. I'm not close to done that game yet. Apparently there is still a lot of stuff according to the person that bought it for me. There is more pain left for me to experience. And then just to be even more of a dick, he sent me a gift copy of Watchdogs Legion, the third one. And yeah, they even called the third one Legion. If you like, come on, this is cultural appropriation. I understand what it feels like now.
That is the exact right term for it.
Like I actually feel the level of deep-seated pain and grief that any ethnic group definitely feels when they see their culture just so completely and utterly soiled like this.
Yeah,
like they even got meme posters everywhere, and the formatting is right. They've got their
own
template,
like version of Trollface.
No, there is a full-on like regular ass Trollface too, by the way.
Crazy.
You know, that they got impact bold with black stroke. Like clearly whoever put together the aesthetics for this wonderful piece of media, clearly they knew what they were doing.
They did their research.
And that's what makes it so much worse, and also makes it absolutely ridiculous that they try to constantly play you off as a bad guy that recoils in horror at the idea of wronging people. But I'm just going and mowing down dozens of security guards, and they're screaming on the radio that I'm a militarized hacker. That it just, the tone, man, the tone, it is something else. There is absolutely no reprisal whatsoever for just slaughtering as much as you can. And
sounds like they really dropped an opportunity to raise hacker on steroids.
Yeah, exactly. This is what hackers on steroids actually means.
There's a yellow van hidden in there, right?
Yeah, right.
Somewhere in that game, there's a yellow van.
I am waiting for it. I just because I don't want to make myself really, really, really fucking hurt, I haven't gone and looked to see if anybody has put a list together of all of the actual references and Easter eggs, because it's all fucking painful.
Right.
All of it. Wow. The main protagonist during a cutscene even says no personal armies.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Watching it, I said in the chat too at the time, I was glad you were playing it and I was only watching. Because there were times when I would have just set the controller down and been like, nope, I'm good. But I still would have wanted to go on. I would have still noped out. So I'm glad I was watching someone.
Stroke. Like, at one point, I was babbling and I didn't even know it. I was just like making noises incoherently. and just like because it was very complex, the feelings that I was feeling. And if I swear to God, if we don't get some level of apology from any of the writers involved with this that have so far ignored my emails, probably because I sounded very irate, but somebody needs to pay for this. Somebody needs to pay.
Well, in related news, and I should have queued this up. I will for next week so I can show you people. But I think you'll like. I did find an image from a conversation I had. It's on my phone, which is up here, and the camera and all that. So I'm not gonna worry about it this week. Of me and Katie left Tom Cruise during the height of all of the Scientology war there. And I think that was, the correct move. And she is now with someone else famous, So I, of course, have met this person and had a conversation with him about everything that happened that I thought was funny that we got to have this conversation. And of course, this is Jamie Foxx. World famous Jamie Foxx, and I got to talk with him for like at the Super Bowl thing that was happening in Minneapolis a few years ago, and one of the things that I thought was hilarious.
This man's met everybody on the planet. I swear to God. Like,
well, this was a fun one because I got to say, hey, congrats on you and Katie, and it had already been like 2 years, so that's kind of stupid. But it was just a good opener to kind of lead into it. And he was like, yeah, thanks. We don't talk too much about it publicly. There were tons of cameras around and everything else. And I said, I'm from Genealogy, the fight against Scientology and all that. I was one of the organizers that kind of got her to leave town. And he's like, I know who you are. Not like personally, but like he knew what had happened. Like obviously they've had conversations about Genealogy. And I just thought that was amazing. I thought that was cool. Like as just the sign of things that had gone down. So, I did send a copy at the time of the picture of me and him to Tom Cruise's PR people with the ask that they sent it to him. I don't think they would have, but I hope that one day one of them got angry enough with him to forward it along, like he said something stupid and they just sent it to him,
Yeah.
That was a fun night. That night was him out there in the audience hanging out with us. And fucking Shaq was the DJ up on stage DJing. And it was awesome. That was a fun freaking party that I was not supposed to be at. Mark Cuban's walking around.
Those are always the best parties, the ones that you weren't invited to.
Oh, well, so this guy in Minneapolis is insane and has lost his mind, I think personally. And he has old friends because he grew up rich, and all of his old friends are now the types of people who organize these types of parties, right? So, in order to keep him from going, that person wanted someone with him to go to this damn party. So he convinced his friends who were throwing it to send me instead of him because they didn't want him in the room. And so I didn't do any of the things I was asked to while I was at the party. I just kind of went, but it was a lot of fun. I will tell you this, Shaq might look like he's let himself go a little, but he is not. That dude pulled me in for a hug when I tried to do the shake. He is the thing when you reach out and you shake and he pulls you in like you're gonna, do the bro hug thing. But like, I'm 6'1" and my face landed just below his pec and it was hard as like a steel wall. I felt like I got a bruise. But I took that picture of me and Jamie Foxx as I sent it to Tom Cruise's PR people, just in the hopes that one day it would make it to Tom Cruise. Because I think that's fucking hilarious.
I'm more likely to sue you for harassment for something like that.
I know, right? I think it's still my favorite Tom Cruise thing of all was when the Anon handed him a Guy Fawkes mask to sign in front of a giant audience, and he didn't want to look like a dick, so he signed it. But he had this look on his face like, I'm gonna find out where you live. Like, he had this look on his face like, oh, it's the best. It was the best.
That is some primo trolling.
Right?
That's fair.
Oh man.
He was one of the German Anons, and they just they're a special kind of fun.
They are. It's a shame that in recent years I've heard that they've been taken over primarily by a lot of like far right actors, and
Yeah.
that's a huge problem that's very specific to Germany. The Germany Anonymous movement is full of racists because they
There's a
were
lot of that,
angry.
especially in Berlin. The Hamburg groups are doing a good job of keeping them out in some of the smaller groups, but
Yeah,
like,
but basically, if you ever wander over to German anonymous social circles, their side of Twitter, their chats and stuff, it is basically like full blown civil war.
oh yeah,
People reporting each other's accounts and baiting each other and all kinds of spy games, and like I was around that briefly just because like I had wandered over to be like, hey, hi guys, what's happening over here? Oh,
there's
whoa,
basically the whole group that's
whoa.
part of the CCC machine, and they seem to be pretty damn cool. And then there's everyone else who wants them on board, and it's now become civil war because they don't want anything to do with the racists. They're not
Yeah,
Nazis.
and they kept trying to like drag me into various conflicts, and I'm just like, I have other things I need to be
Yeah, I got
doing,
my
and
own stuff this big. This is
yeah.
yours.
And as recently, like this was months ago, and as recently as a week and a half ago, I had a apparently well-known German anon send me a message in German that was essentially like, um, "You're making a lot of noise, and all of us are watching you very closely, so you better be careful." And I'm just like, okay.
Cool.
Uh, I'm not even going to respond to this.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to quietly leave all these rooms that you invited me to, and
Yeah, just nope out of
yeah,
that.
you
That's
do
not
that.
your problem.
You do that, yeah. I mean, I got, you know how many people I got fucking spying on everything I do to try and like do some character assassination ass shit. Like
Yeah.
it's a lot.
Yeah.
And it has never actually worked. It has always ended up the funniest thing imaginable. And a lot of stuff, like a lot of the stuff that I've been experiencing lately, it's typical scare tactics,
Yeah.
which is their modus operandi. And I embrace it, and I escalate, or I just completely and utterly emasculate them or make them feel so uncomfortable that they don't want to continue these efforts because they're just that freaked out.
Damn
And
straight,
that's how you
Doxy.
do it. That's how you do it. Like you don't even take them seriously, and they really can't do shit to you. I mean, somebody was going through a bunch of accounts that were old. I don't use them. No 2FA. I really don't care. You know, like if somebody thought that they were acting like a big scary um, uh, shadowy demon of some kind by changing my name on some profiles to please kill yourself. Uh, okay, sure. Whatever. I mean, good
I mean,
on
I
you.
did ask 3 people today to kill themselves. Like I did. Like, so, I mean, but that's a typical day
Yeah.
for me. Because my phone number is so public that I get a ton of scam phone calls. I'm on all the auto dial lists. So every time I get one of those scammers, like saying they're the Social Security Service or they can lower my credit card rates, I answer the phone. And then I click one so I can talk to someone. And I give them a very standard spiel, but it's just me attempting to convince them to leave the building and walk out into the street in front of the first bus they find. They usually hang up pretty quickly, but I'll tell you, every now and then you get that one who's like, all right, well, how fast does the bus need to be going? And then you know that you've got one of their better people, one of the people who's really good at interacting on the phone and really, really agile, right? The way they think. And I love that because it means you're keeping one of their better scam artists away from actually scamming people while you're having him talk about the ways in which he should kill himself. So you get 2 wins out of it, really. You know, it's fun times. But I had 3 of those calls today, and one of them we did talk for a couple minutes, and we've decided that it should be a blue bus going about 80 because we really want that impact to matter.
Oh wow. Yeah, definitely do not disagree with with that level of treatment. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the scam callers get what they get. Like,
They
no
do,
love for
they
them.
do. Like every time I register a domain name, I then spend the next month or so getting Indian spam calls for. I don't need. It's who is privacy is a thing. How is somebody with access to the ARIN database, the unredacted copies going and abusing that access? Yes, they absolutely fucking are.
Absolutely.
And when you ask me what I want to do with a Unicode domain that you don't know is a Unicode domain, and it's actually an Egyptian hieroglyph of a urinating erect penis. When you ask me to make you if I need you to make me a business site from this domain, I'm gonna start asking you what your rates are for a water sports fetish porn site, and
you know,
you're gonna go away very quickly.
Yeah.
This has happened 3 times.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. I mean, I definitely, I don't know. I used to really just hate the amount of those phone calls I got, but I've learned to turn it into an entertaining part of my day.
Exactly. Anybody comes your way, anybody intrudes on your time, on your mental energy to intimately one-on-one converse with you. It doesn't matter what it's about. They could be threatening you. They could be trying to sell a product or a service. They could be saying that they are Sam from Microsoft and your computer has a virus. So please install TeamViewer. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which any of these that you get. If you get anytime you get the tech support ones, really fuck with them. Like just boot up VMware, boot up VirtualBox.
Bring them into something like that you can just delete.
Yeah, bring them into something even funnier. Install TeamViewer on a Linux VM and be like, oh my god, how did it's like did somebody hack my Linux? How is it Microsoft now? You need to help me.
There are entire YouTube
shit
channels that do just this shit to them. And my favorite is there's a few of them who actually, when the TeamViewer connections open up, they will hack them through it. They will like go in like so because the people on the other
they'll
end
give them a document, or they'll give them a PDF that installs malware the moment they open it up because it says
and then they'll remote into that machine and delete all their files. Like it's you can have a lot of fun with the tech support ones.
I've seen entire networks be completely decimated.
Yeah, one of the guys actually got into the security system on the local network, started getting video of all the people who were actually behind the scam, and then called the cops on the building because they used scenery outside of some of the windows they could see from the security cameras to identify the location of the building. And it was amazing watching these people take down the scammers. Like I enjoy that stuff. That is good background sound.
Has anybody actually put that kind of activity under the label of hacktivism? Because I think it totally counts.
I think it does too. Absolutely. Yeah. You are doing a good service.
Yeah.
Definitely. My favorite is the one where the guy totally falls for the scam and like they're like, well, for some reason your card isn't going through. You'll have to get us gift cards to something. How about the Google Play Store? And then the guy will actually buy like $2,000 worth of Google Play Store freaking stuff right in front of them on screen. He'll like do the purchase, and then instead of sending them to them while they're watching his screen live, he will spend all the money and he'll be like, what? These are cards for the Play Store. I'm supposed to use them, right? And they'll just be like, no, stop for that. Just give us the and they'll be screaming at him the whole time to stop spending the money and give them the codes. And he'll wait until all the money's gone. And finally they start to catch on and they hang up on him. But it'll be like an hour and a half of their time losing their minds as the guy falls for the scam and then spends the money anyways.
God.
And he gets enough views that the AdSense on the views is covering that bill.
Yeah, I was going it like when you are doing shit like that, you're gonna have an audience that's large enough that yes, it is gonna be self-sustaining. Uh, yeah, whew. That is a really fucking good and appreciable way of recycling your income from ruining and wrecking fools.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Mm-hmm.
definitely should get Kitboga on. Definitely, I agree with that one. That's one of my favorites. Does amazing work against the scammers, the scam baiting people. Like they have figured out how to get on the list of people who are attempted to be scammed. Like, and they just it's brilliant work what they do.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always the best when whenever whoever's in charge of the operation muscles their way onto the line, and it's like, okay, what the fuck are you doing, you little turd? What do
Yeah.
you want from me?
So
uh,
this week, are you ready for this news? Joe Biden publicly calls Vladimir
Yes.
Putin a killer. To which
Duh.
Putin responds, takes one to no one. And he said it publicly also. He didn't say, nope, I'm not a murderer. He said, takes one to no one. And, like,
He knows that the entire Republican Party is basically his cheerleading squad at this point.
yeah,
Yeah.
So
his
and it's really
response was,
fun.
takes one to no one. I
Like
just,
Fox News was straight up was absolutely on the non-Democrat side of this
yeah,
in every way. And really, that's just saying that Republicans are not the patriots that they like to circle jerk
yeah, no, they are
over
not.
their constituents and claim they are.
Definitely not.
No, they're all a whole lot of fucking traitors.
So,
At the end of the day.
yeah. So Putin is
Uh,
now an admitted killer. Ooh, like we didn't already all know that. I just think it's funny the interactions they're having with each other.
And then he challenged Biden to a debate.
He did.
Debate 1v1, bro.
Like, oh my
Yeah, he
God.
totally went internet. Like takes one to no one, 1v1 me, bro.
He's fucking Crowder sitting.
He is.
Exactly.
Sitting there being like, I'm a killer and a despot. Prove me wrong. I- oh my God. I can stomp all over any of you any day I want. Prove me wrong.
It's yeah. It's
Like
I mean,
this
it's
is just it's so fucking ridiculous at this point.
Yeah.
Just the sheer amount of shit that man and that nation gets away with, and just the fact that like their laws are so lax that any hacker worth their salt is going to want to have infrastructure in Russia because they're just allowed to hack anybody that's not Russia that they fucking want.
well, yeah.
that
So this is an important thing for people to understand. Like a lot of times, you know, I've been asked this question in interviews. Like I was asked this by one of the CNN producers. Like, why does Russia's government hacking team have such good hackers compared to a lot of the rest of the world's government teams, which are mostly like college trained people? And I had to explain it to him for like the millionth time. Like in Russia, say you're a 13-year-old hacker kid who's really getting into the feel of this, and you're a natural, so it's really starting to come easy to you. By 15, you're like breaking into international banks like in freaking Greece and Cyprus and shit. The Russian government sits back, has a file on you. Don't think you're so good. They are monitoring everything over there. The Russian business network's surveillance
you're
is
gonna do them
amazing.
some favors.
And they let you play. They let you learn on your own. They let you get good, and they let you get cocky. And then when you hit about 17 or 18, they pay you a visit, and they throw down the file of, here's all the things you've done. And we're at your house, and we're not here to arrest you. Boy, do we have an opportunity for you. You get to live, and so does your family. How do you like that opportunity? Great, you work for us now. And
now get on this sketchy looking tanker and
yeah,
and we're gonna go dock ashore and you're gonna get us into the CIA. Have fun, kid.
yeah. I mean, half of the GRU team literally is just Exactly, an offer you can't refuse. It's they let you get so much hacking comes out of Russia, not because the Russian government isn't good at catching these people. No, they know who everyone is doing this work over there. They're just cool
Russia
with
doesn't
it.
have a lot of Russian patriots. Like everybody's
No.
in agreement that it's just like everything there is just like, oh fuck, man, just whatever. You know, I get to do some fun things, and and it's a give or take. Like they have completely accepted this way of life. Every Russian that I know, every Russian expat that I have ever known personally, and has very long-term and intricate experiences with just basic level corruption within Russia itself. Um, they're all like, "Hey, man, they just people just do what they got to do to survive. It's a dog eat dog world out there. I mean, I'm not gonna fault any of them for trying to pocket a little bit of money on the side, because it's a fucking, it is a communist nightmare that saps everybody of everything but eating fucking gruel for every meal because you can't afford everything else. But hey,
Right.
you get an apartment, they give you an apartment, and that's kind of
Oh yeah.
cool. And
Yeah.
then from there, you just do whatever corrupt ass shit you can to get ahead. And hope you don't end up having to do too many favors that end up with you being face down in a ditch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you learn a lot of things you're not supposed to know being an expert GRU hacker. So, I would definitely fear for my life expectancy at that point. But how it is, it's dissimilar from it's different than like North Korea's hacking team, because North Korea's hacking team is really really good. I mean, about a third of the major Bitcoin hacks that have happened in the last decade have been North Korea. But the way they do it is different. They take kids, like most of the kids, and they run them through a quick, basically, test at 13, 14 years old, where they're like, all right, we're going to see how adept you are, how quickly you pick this up, and if after a month you don't, well, you're back out on the street with your family that's struggling to survive. If you do, you get to go to the second round of tests. If you make it out, like I think it's the fourth or fifth round of tests, well, shit, you're on the team. And you get into this building where it's full of other hackers that came through the same system. But unlike a lot of other hacking communities where skills are often tightly held secrets until you've really earned it, you walk into a room full of people who have all the highest level skills, and their job is to make sure you have them too. So you learn quickly, and you get brought up to speed and taught all these tools, and then you're told,
and you don't got to worry so much about OPSEC because Russian infrastructure is free to you to go and use however you wish.
And you're told whatever you do, no problem.
Your own country.
Yeah, just don't fuck with us and we don't care. Fuck it. If you steal Bitcoins and they go into your account, we don't fucking care. But when we have a Bitcoin op for you, that's ours.
Also, we want our cut.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, they're just told, like, literally, you get the good life because you're one of our boys now. And so they actually get food, unlike the rest of the country.
I put in the chat right now. We're gonna do this whole follow, like, subscribe,
all that fun stuff,
donate,
but also this.
But also, every month I'm getting a little bit more and more and more in my pot by the time my bills and my rent are due. I am at this point, and I'm looking at my account, I'm about $600 short of making my rent. I'm a couple of days overdue. It's stress. I've been dealing with so much stuff, and any help is appreciated. Getting
Absolutely.
this banged out tonight would be nice, very nice.
Yes. I didn't pay rent this month yet, but mine is a much bigger number right now than that one, and you solve the problems that are solvable just to get more problems off the board. So if anyone can help this man.
Please do. Thank you.
But and we've got something to talk about tomorrow too. If you could spare a few minutes. Because somehow someone is putting up with me. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the offer that they put forward, and that is a good motivator.
Yes.
So,
yes, we have fun stuff to talk about tomorrow.
Yep.
Yes, so definitely. Yeah, if anyone, wants to know, just to have an understanding of how short I am this month on all my bills, it's about 2,800, so it's not a number I'm expecting anyone to help with. Just so, that is we need to get this channel like 1,000 more subs number. So yeah. But we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll figure it out. Luckily, I have a surprisingly just nice and easy to get along with landlord who is cool with everything, and really being nice about things. So
Yeah,
that's helping.
mine is too. Though recently, he's like stopped hounding me so hard. I think he might be scared of me now.
This shit happens, right?
Yeah, it just happens. I mean, you get there's pros and there's cons. Um, but he's really good to me. Considering that like when I moved into I was the very first resident in this domicile.
Yep.
Um, and yeah,
Good times.
yeah, good times. My landlord is very good to me, and that's a rare thing to say.
I know. I'm definitely not used to this situation.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
yeah, I'm also not used to the not making situation. I mean, it's been a little rough. I put a lot of effort into doing something that ended up not being good to be doing during a pandemic, and so when it hit, I was just kind of in trouble. Uh,
I am
yeah,
now only $250 short for my rent in
that's
that short amount of
amazing.
time. So if you want to help me clean up that remaining $250,
Thanks everybody who possibly
da, da,
helped
da,
there.
da.
Thanks
Yes,
everybody. Yeah. So, are you ready for the good news?
that I'm gonna be a father in a few days.
Exactly, everybody. It is. It is only a few days away. Dade will be
Yeah.
joining us out here in the hacker world.
Yes, the only sad part is I don't know when I'll actually like be able to like touch him or like verify that it isn't a figment of my imagination somehow.
Right, right.
For the amount of time it's going to take to do a whole lot of paperwork and stuff to let him be able to enter this country.
Indeed.
So
Indeed.
that's the whole thing. That's very stressful.
It is, but I think it's
So
stuff you'll
I
get
will.
through.
Yeah, it's saying it's so I'm gonna say too is that on top of needing to make rent, I need to finish throwing together a baby wish list
You
because
do.
things kind of hit like a freight train, and the
And you
mother
don't live
needs
in
to be
Finland where
named.
they provide all that stuff.
No, no, I don't. Um, mm.
I know, right? Let's all move to Finland or Denmark or somewhere where they care about their people.
I mean, you want to talk about money shit like that? Like my son's being born in America.
I know, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Woo.
yeah, there will be a wish list / registry thing set up here shortly. Kurt, you'll get that up this week, right?
Yeah. I'll get that up like over the weekend at
Perfect.
the minimum. Right now I just want to finish paying my rent. Please and thank you.
Yeah, that's step one, right? I have no hopes of that for the next week. I think unless a miracle happens, but holding out for that miracle, holding out for that miracle.
Nah,
Uh,
everything always works out.
it
It seems.
seems to in the end, but it usually takes that person just stepping up. But we are up to the point where about 1/5 of my monthly bills are now covered by this show. Actually, which I mean, it's 1/5, right? It doesn't sound like much, but that's still a huge like help. Like that is still amazing. So I love all of you watching this show. This has been amazing.
You all are great.
Yeah.
You need to start doing more little ad breaks here and there, my
I
buddy.
was just about to say it's time for me to go grab the dessert that came with dinner and another drink, and we're gonna go on a quick break, and we'll be right back. So grab yourself some water and everything over there.
Yeah.
Mics are hot, and here we are, everybody. All right, back from a little break there. Yeah, so talking Vipos there, we are in that same space as you. Certain people do not deserve the airtime that they would be given if we talked about some stuff that happened on Twitter this week. So we're just not going to because they don't deserve the airtime. But I am going to snack on my wonderful brownie here because that's just what I'm going to do. I'm hungry.
Damn, I'm jealous.
Right? Cookie brownies, man.
They're called brookies.
I've never heard that, but now that's what I'm going to call them.
Rookie move.
Yeah. I guess it must be a regional thing. Cookie brownies. That's very verbose.
Right.
Cookies, brownies, brookies. There you go.
Is it soda pop, soda, or pop? This is a big one here.
Yeah, y'all call it soda and soda pop in the States.
What do you call it?
Pop.
Oh, you're killing me. You're killing me. Why are you so wrong?
At least the answer wasn't Coke.
Oh, yeah. Would you like Pepsi Coke?
Yeah.
Oh. Like regional differences. You say you want a pack of Smarties. You're either gonna get sour tarts or you're gonna get some chocolates.
Right.
You know. Yeah, no, we call that shit. Those fucking things. They're called rockets here. What are you talking about? Ooh.
Yeah. And according to Adam Sandler, it's called the fizzy bubbly in Israel.
Fizzy bubbly.
Well, you've never seen the Zohan? The horrible movie.
No. The Zohan came out around the time when I had finally realized that I had my complete and utter fill of really, really, really lowbrow, really shitty comedies. Mainly because there had already been a fair amount of damn good ones that had no right to be as good as they were with the actual framing around it.
Right.
And that kind of like killed things fast. Once you have a Zoolander, once you have a Borat.
I mean, Zoolander is an amazing film. Yeah. I'm not even going to call it a movie. That is a film to me. That movie is I love that movie.
It is like garbage turned into art.
Oh, yeah. It's exactly that. It should not be good, but I enjoy the living fuck out of it.
In fact, it's not good in almost every possible way, but in a special way.
Good old Blue Steel. Good times. So more good news out of the world today. On the good news front, Europe is entering its third wave lockdown. So Paris,
Canada.
So Paris
Canada's entering third wave.
Yeah, Paris just said they're doing another full 4-week lockdown starting right the F now. And a bunch of other cities are now starting their lockdown because the UK variant, B117, is now spreading. And one of the great things about this version of the virus is if you built up an internal immunity due to having the first one, that doesn't matter, and you can still get this one too. And on top of that, if you've had this one and the original one, you can still get the South African variant too. So no version of it seems to carry an immunity for any of the other variants. The mutations this one is making are super strong, and
it's almost like it killed off the flu and took over.
It's not a fun thing to be hearing about. I got to watch some videos about some of this, and just watching what the people even at the top of the medical industry are talking about amongst themselves is it's scary. everyone who keeps popping out of like complete lockdown, like Texas did, where you see 1,000 kids on a beach in South Padre Island, like, no, we're not there yet.
The moment things start going down, they're like, "All right, guys, it's time to go back out." It's like, no,
that's how this keeps happening.
Oh my god. It's like they're prolonging the torture on purpose because they're low key accelerationists and are really really mad that January 6th did not play through.
Yeah,
really makes you think.
So yeah, the third wave is hitting, and
Except in the U.S., it's already done here.
Oh yeah, we had ours.
We're getting ready for wave 4.
Yeah. The rest of the world gets. I mean, the UK variant
I don't
has
even
appeared.
think you guys. I don't even think you could qualify your entire country as having experienced waves.
Yeah,
Waves can pile steady. Up. You can get a wave on top of a wave.
Oh. It's a Bitcoin. It's a Bitcoin sine wave pattern. You know, you can map out cryptocurrency prices almost 1-to-1 with United States COVID rates. I swear.
Investment strategy 101. Follow the diseases, I guess. So yeah, I know, right? Like, it's such a horrible thing, having to stay inside.
Some people
have
realized that all of the wonderful investment opportunities that this pandemic has afforded them. So they really don't give a shit how long this thing goes, because they're all making shitloads of money at the end of the day.
All the rich people in power have only
all
gotten richer.
All the small businesses that are shutting down are just putting more business over in Jeff Bezos's pockets.
Yeah, every time a mom and pop shop closes, a big box store or Amazon gets the business.
There is absolutely no downside to the worst aspects of capitalism for this to not just keep going and going and going and going, and until it's just like there's absolutely nothing left but a handful of mega corporations. That's the trajectory that it currently seems like things are on. And
every dystopian future story tells me that that's where we're going to end up.
This is going to be messy.
Corporation,
right?
It's coming.
This is going to be really, really, really messy. Right? On the bright side, there is absolutely no way whatsoever that they can argue that everybody has to go back to the workplace and they're not allowed to work from home. So, I mean, if anything else, we are now there. Working from home.
Yeah, if you wanted remote work to become normalized. Yeah. Very few companies were set up and ready for this, but Slack, the chat system, the internal messaging system for companies and whatnot, and for groups, they were already completely remote with a very small central office before this hit. And the one thing that I have liked coming out of them is they have released studies on what worked for them, what didn't, why they made choices they made. I don't actually really enjoy using Slack much, but they did at least put in a lot of effort to distribute to the world, here's the shit that works for our company being remote, and we were doing it before we had to. So, we really got to figure this shit out, and we we weren't on the fire, we got to figure it out. So, there's a lot of good reporting. If you do anything where you need to actually organize remotely like that, even if it's not business related, a lot of that Slack documentation that's out there, a lot of their research papers on remote work are actually really good reads. They're really good for organizational stuff. Hey, it's a kitty.
He's a kitty.
So yeah, I would say check that stuff out if you want to do any remote organizing. It's there's some quite good information in there, and you can apply it to free tools like Mattermost or Rocket Chat or any of the others that you can host yourself.
Still partial to self-hosted Matrix.
Myself. Of course. I mean, there's 100 ways you can do it.
Yep. But this whole working from home thing, it's turned out pretty good. The only downside being is if you don't have a marketable skill that is something that you can work remote, you're kind of completely fucked. And yeah, uh, um, just cancel all student debt. Just blank out all the student debt. Get some actual fucking long-term regular stimulus money flowing to
UBI. Universal
yes.
Basic Income. So are you guys ready for that is an amazing transition. Are you guys ready for a tweet from earlier today? I'm going to show you guys a tweet from earlier today. I got to pull up the image because I didn't actually get it set up here. But let's go. Besides the one that's already on the screen, which is a tweet from earlier today. This is it to screen. There we go.
They just need to put all the tax rates back to where they were before fucking Ronald Reagan killed everything.
Pretty much. So today is the 18-year anniversary of the Iraq War. $6.4 trillion, which is $877 million a day during that time period. For $6.4 trillion, all student debt, end homelessness, and pay for 4-year public college for 60 years for the entire population. So that is what the war machine does. All of that money is currently going into the pockets of the shareholders and the people they're giving kickbacks to of Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, Northrop Grumman, Booz Allen Hamilton. You know, all of the military-industrial complex are getting all of this cash. And all the people...
How much money we need? Every single one of these Tomahawk missiles that we blow up an orphanage with costs us $500,000.
Yeah, everyone should definitely be following Rashid. He's amazing. But yeah, I saw this go by today, and it really, like, even if they were to take $1 trillion off of that cancels student debt for the next decade in America. That cancels. That allows enough housing to be created for all homelessness currently in America for the next 10 years. If just one of the 6.4 trillion is off of that. So when they say they don't have the money to do this, it's an outright lie. When they say this is expensive, it's an outright lie. When they say they don't have the budget for it, it's an outright lie. They don't have the will to do it. They don't have the desire to do it because they are the ones in power. And this does not help them.
Or either they're the ones in power, or they are their entire careers have been propped up by these corporate interests that they have essentially become lifelong slaves to ensuring that the billionaires have their best interests first and foremost. And if you step out of line, well, we got a whole lot of media outlets that we also control that are going to have a wonderful time just completely and utterly destroying your entire career via character assassination. They will put in the work, and they make sure that you are scared of them. It's a fucking mess. Corporations own and run America, and at every level.
Absolutely.
You want to say what the real problem is there? It's literally like
all lobbying,
billionaires are the problem.
And
not just
all
because
lobbying and make campaign finance capped, and then make it publicly funded, and take away just all ability for big corporations to buy representation. There are a lot of, simple in terms of the logic of them, methods that will solve this, but complex in terms of no one in power wants to implement them. So Jeremy in chat did say something that I do find interesting. The military-industrial complex is, to a large extent, a way to compel the public to subsidize high-tech industry. And, along those lines, what I find really... interesting is I'm watching the TV show For All Mankind. I find it a very interesting show. It's on Apple TV Plus, and in it, one of the things you notice is their whole storyline is basically that the Russians got to the moon first. They beat us by like a week, and if they had done that, what would America have done? Well, then it becomes a bigger race. If they beat us there, now we've got to get the first base up there because we've got to do something better, right? So, and then it goes on, and finally, the space race doesn't end, and instead it goes on at that pace, and because it goes on at that pace, by 1984, electric vehicles are becoming a standard thing in the country, because, like, you know, the technology is going at such a pace to have
so it's
this.
It's like a whole Command and Conquer Red Alert thing going on there.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, as the space race gets so much stronger, faster, and gets higher budgets, a lot of that technology gets developed and brought down. And it's really interesting watching how they're normalizing the idea that if we give all of the people who make the weapons money, you guys get cool toys. Like, that's an it's a kind of an undernote to the whole story that is seeping through. And if you watch it for the messaging, it's really interesting to see what messaging is actually being sent.
Yeah, it's that's propaganda as fuck. But also at the same time, it's also a good thing to point out that without the military-industrial complex, we might not have privacy technologies today like Tor, which originally started as a military project.
It did.
The internet
DARPA.
itself, DARPA, like the internet was a military project. A lot of very solid and good technologies have their basis in military applications, and then are adapted for wider society as the benefits are realized, or things that keep people safer on a capacity of their own operators and their own spies being able to avoid being compromised. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, yeah, criminals are using this, but also we're using it to everybody makes everybody safer. There's no way around it.
Yeah.
And horrible things are done with stuff that military makes, but at the end of the day, everybody's going to get something out of it, I guess. Silver linings.
Right. Yeah, and that's what they try and sell. It's just it's been fun watching a show that really is focused on showing it, because I mean, I think people would honestly enjoy watching the show, but one of the other side effects they list off of this battle that I found interesting was the Russians, just to fuck with what they believed was American, you know, built-in systemic racism that they didn't suffer from, which is, I mean, kind of a lie. But
totally a lie.
they and sexism and misogyny and everything. They sent up a woman next, and so while we're still struggling to get our first, you know, man on the moon, their second cosmonaut who lands on the moon is a woman. And so then America's like, great, fuck, now we look bad, and so America has to get a female astronaut corps together, and then they do quickly. And then before they can get their first female on the moon, I mean, she is the next one to land, but before they can do that, the Russians then land a black person on the moon. And the Russians keep beating America over its head with its own, like, internalized massive systemic problems by doing shit like this and pointing out to the world that they weren't even thinking about it until we made them look bad. And it's a really interesting piece of what they're showing in the race. Because, like, I think Russia would have, like, won a lot of world favor by doing shit like that if they'd actually done it. But
The recent Wolfenstein games, the framing being that the Nazis actually won World War II. Like, there are full on off-world colonies by the events of those last few games.
Yep.
And due to the magic of ancient Jewish super concrete. It's really weird framing, but
to be fair,
it's a common trope.
Ancient Jewish magic is a common trope in Wolfenstein.
Yes, as is in amongst a lot of media, a common trope of well, actually, if the fascists win, then you're gonna see how much more progressed technologically we are as a society. But the downside is that everybody's a racist. This is very unsettling.
Yeah.
Every time I see this kind of framing.
It seems weird to me that, like, they're hyping up the technological prowess of the people that were entirely unable to develop a nuclear weapons program. Like, they tried, failed miserably multiple times over, kicked out a bunch of their own top physicists for being either Jewish or subscribing to Jewish physics. Like, these are supposed to be the technological geniuses?
Best part of the last Wolfenstein game is you actually go and meet geriatric Hitler on a space base, and he is so delusional and decrepit at that point that he's peeing himself, and you get an instant game over if you do it, but they do give you the button prompts to just go and snap his neck or do all manner of horrific death inflicting events to him. I spent a good amount of time doing that over and over.
Yeah.
You get killed. You get killed in for a reason.
Right. But it's a good feeling.
It's a really good feeling.
That's a solid death. A death well earned.
Yes. he thinks one of you're one of his female ancestors at one point. It's like you're BJ, and he's like, "Oh, Auntie, is that you?" It's ridiculous. It's a good sequence. Good way to put Hitler in a game and just completely and utterly shit all over that man.
Well deserved.
Yes.
Oh, where did the window go?
And by the way, if you did not catch Watchdogs 2, I'm only like about almost halfway through it. I still got a long way to go. Plus a lot of.
When are you going to stream more
stuff.
of it? This weekend?
Yeah. This weekend, I would say after that. Actually, honestly, depending on how my rent situation looks by the end of this show, and I swear to God, if you hold out on me just so you can make me do this, you are a horrible person.
Wow.
But I might go and boot that up and play a little bit, because actually I have been doing all kinds of horrible, boring ass and tedious things the last few days, and I need to unwind yet again.
Gaming.
Yes, I need me some gaming.
I agree. We were joking in chat about things to do in Minecraft if we wanted to have like a record-beating stream, because I think the stream record is over 200 hours on Twitch, and
you can kill me in Minecraft.
Well, our thoughts were, what if we tried to build the longest redstone device in Minecraft history? That would, all the way to the far lands where it can't generate anymore because its math stops working. So you get out to 13 million blocks away from 0,0, and you end up with just all these crazy things starting to spawn that are broken. Could you build a switch out there that turns something on back here? That would probably take 3 weeks to build. Of non-stop placing redstone and repeaters and mining for the material to do both. And could we do that and cycle through as teams, keeping the stream live the whole time while we all take sleep? That was one of the things we were talking about while we were waiting for you to get situated earlier. We should totally find a way for us to do some kind of an event that gets a lot of coverage on Twitch to get both of our streams some followers.
Indeed.
I would be up for trying something where we get 2 more people and we get our sleep schedules just off enough that we can nap at the right times and never stop having someone live, and go for 2 weeks on one stream where on the screen it says sub to these 4 people and it has all of our channels on it or something.
Oh God, that would be an event for sure.
Right.
That makes me think of something like a Desert Bus for Hope.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, definitely. If anyone can help get him to rent, I know some of you already have, so that is awesome. If there's anything left over, I'd love to get closer, but help him get there first, because he's a lot closer, and I like seeing at least one thing knocked off the board. It's just it's
Yes.
better to complete one thing before you start a second thing.
I already have way too much stuff to worry about right now. Uh, just helping me knock out some financial things, so I'm not worrying about
The stuff we would get done if financial things weren't in our way is
exactly.
it's a stressor that gets on top of you. But I mean, we're still getting shit done. It's just like, imagine, right? You need that benefactor, that just here's your 10K a month and you just don't worry. Why
did the Nazis get like 5 to 6 digits just dropped into a Bitcoin wallet and they don't even ask for it? This is an outrage. Like this is always the biggest goddamn outrage.
That's it. I'm building a list of all the Bitcoin whales, and then I'm setting up a wallet, and then I'm saying, everybody, let's go. We got to do it, right? Like, I mean,
We discussed this last week. We got some NFTs that we gotta.
We do. Well, so tomorrow afternoon, like mid to late afternoon, I've got some morning shit I want to get done. Me and you should talk about that and a couple other things. But yes, I agree.
Yes. The shit show is not going away anytime soon, and its negative impacts can be mitigated by responsible use of the earnings. So at that point, I mean, yeah, sure. Like if you want to jump on a funny new meme moneymaker, why not?
Why not? Let's
Why
go.
the fuck not? Somebody sold an audio recording of them farting for $80. So it's like, you can only go downhill from here.
Okay, well then, it's ready for Channers to show up.
Exactly.
I mean, someone opened the door for us.
We've already had Nyancat. We've already had a rare Pepe.
Yeah.
Collectively go for close to $2 million if combined. So
crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Let's go. I love it. So you run 420, Chan. And so this is the perfect thing to talk about. So I don't know if you read, I know you've been a little busy to follow the news, but the news hit today that or maybe it was late last night, but it hit that Biden's White House transition team.
Oh god, I have seen this shit. I was like,
they told a bunch of people that your past marijuana indiscretions were gonna be looked over, but here are the new rules, and we're gonna move forward, and we're gonna be a little more lax than it was before. And they said this, and then they decided, nah, fuck that, and now they're asking everyone with any pot use to resign.
Even if it was within a legal state.
Even if it was in a legal state.
Didn't Kamala Harris even say that she smoked?
Yeah.
She said that. So did Obama.
Yeah.
Like this is.
Yeah. Well, again, remember that Biden and friends all get a lot of pharma money. So.
Yeah, they get a lot of pharma money, but also they seem to really have a fetish for really wanting to beat it in the American people that I'm not Trump, but I'm still a real piece of shit, and don't fucking forget it.
Yeah.
You had no choice here. Haha, fuck you. This is not going to be a fun 4 years, because at least with Trump, you knew that he was a bumbling and dangerous lunatic just by the nature of the man. Something like the current Biden-Harris government is much more insidious because a lot of that stuff you're not going to fucking see coming.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, it's still better than Trump, but only slightly in my mind.
That's the lowest. That's
a low bar.
Lowest bar. Yeah.
No bar has ever been set that low before.
Go. That bar is so low that you are walking. It's sitting on the ground, and
that bar is way below the surface of the ground.
Oh.
Somewhere around the Earth's core.
Yeah, it's burst down in the Earth's core, and now hot magma is flowing up, and they can't fucking stop it, and it's ruining everything even more. That's great. That's the whole ratcheting effect. It's the whole
Yeah.
thing of the Republicans constantly pushing things further and further to the right, and in order to keep pace with them and not anger voters, they got to keep moving further right from center, and it doesn't stop. Like the Biden administration is basically like a Bush administration at this point. If you take a look at it, they are a little bit more oorah in about identity politics, but when you're basically using identity politics as your one and only differentiator between the non-fascists and the fascists, that's not a good look. That just means that you're fascists that are okay to continue to be fascists because you think that trans women are women. That's it.
Yeah.
That is your differences. And man, where do you even go from here? Fuck.
I mean, you can start laughing about the fact that Mar-a-Lago has been shut down because of COVID outbreak.
Yeah.
So Trump's party house there is getting partially closed because there's an outbreak there. I think that's funny.
Yeah, but he's still grifting people and telling people to donate to him instead of the Republican Party. The grift is not going to end.
No, as long as it generates money.
And, yeah, either that or until his entire family is finally indicted.
They'll probably keep it up until they're all in jail. And they'll probably try to keep it going then, as long as it brings. I feel
like Putin going out there and saying so blatantly that I'm a killer. There's some subtext here.
You gonna cross me?
His puppet lost. He's in uncoverable debt. Like he owes a lot of money, and he messed up a lot of stuff. I don't know, like he's old, he's overweight, he eats like crap.
Yep.
He's probably gonna have a heart attack or something soon. And everyone can see it coming. He's getting up there.
Absolutely.
It's totally gonna be natural causes at this point. Absolutely.
Absolutely. As it always is, because getting poisoned is a natural cause of being a world leader.
Yeah, it's very rare that you can say that they deserved it, though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So you wanna get a little touchy? You wanna talk about a hot potato? Because now we've got an interesting argument being made, and by interesting I mean horribly wrong, but still. So of course, a white guy goes and kills a bunch of Asian sex workers, and a police officer seemingly says, "Oh, he was just having a bad day." Not seemingly. He did say that. He's
one of the boys. He's like, we all have a bad day, and just make a extrajudicial race.
Right.
Well, I mean,
race
to
crime.
be fair, you and I might not, but we're also not police.
Yeah. But so the argument starts: is this a hate crime? Did he do it because they were Asian? And I'm like, well, one, they all were, so like that it should qualify. It should be there were white people around that he did not shoot. So like it wasn't like he walked into rooms where there like buildings and parking lots where there were only Asians. Like he selectively chose the Asians. So now the new argument that I've read about today is that it wasn't a hate crime against Asians, but instead it was a hate crime against sex workers, and that people are now...
He's just an incel.
Well, now, I mean, they were, some of them were admittedly by family members now in the media, sex workers. And that's fine. I think that should be an absolutely legal and regulated thing, just like everything else out there. But it's a very weird idea is the hate crime against Asians or is the hate crime against sex workers? Because if you're calling it a hate crime against sex workers and that's anything you think is going to hold up in court, then sex workers have to be something in the court's mind that is worthy of being a protected group,
Protect class.
and and that's where that argument starts to get really weird in our law, because they are not a protected class in any legal sense in America. So I find this all very hard to navigate, because like, yeah, it's I think Valval has it kind of right. It's a hate crime against Asians, it's a hate crime against women, and it's a hate crime against sex workers. It's not one or the other.
I'm gonna say I don't think really saying sex workers is the strongest claim there, because there were a bunch of like strip clubs right around these massage parlors,
right,
that he didn't go to.
Like I was saying, like, it's not like he targeted a specific group of people. So the fact that some of his defense team have leaked out the idea that it was not based on Asian, and instead it's just like, ugh, what are they thinking with that argument? Like, where do they think that argument is going to land them?
Every single major mass shooting in America for the last couple of years, they have all been racially motivated.
Damn straight, it's a hate crime.
Hate crimes. Every single one of them. It's been a white dude blown away, ethnics, or Jews.
Basically, just non-white people.
Just like they're fucking Nazis. So of course the cops are going to be like, "Oh, he had a bad day."
Yeah, I can't believe. I can't believe that the cop would say something stupid, but like that dumb on TV. Like, I just don't expect them to be that stupid on TV. Like, the ones that they put in front of the mic usually have had enough training and enough experience not to say that out loud into the mic. Like, that's what blew my mind. Not that he said it or thought it, but that he was the one who said it in what?
If I recall correctly, that county is very white, though.
It is.
So, like, it's not like he's gonna, like, lose his job. He'd already tweeted out racist crap, so...
At this, like, this continues. This continues the trend of seeing an article and having to continually double check to make sure that it's not being published on the Onion or is an Onion piece.
Yeah,
because you don't even know anymore.
Although there was
that's why we're not getting another Grand Theft Auto
stories.
That's why we're not getting. Is why we can't get another satire like game like Grand Theft Auto anymore, and why the writers have left Rockstar, because they had that panic-inducing moment where the last couple of years of the state of the world has made Grand Theft Auto 5's storyline look more grounded in reality than what we are all living through right now. Satire is dead. Like, satire is dead. All you have left is actual, just like full-blown trolling. Actually, like that's all you can do at this point. World's weird right now. We live in a meme. We live in a gigantic hell world meme.
Yeah, that is absolutely it right. In one of the logs that has come out of the Proud Boys chats, though, it was interesting to see all these people who, helped to run Back the Blue events and all the other fun stuff. In the chat logs, Nordine says that cops are the biggest threat at the event, and I find that just telling of where they really are.
Oh, wow.
Like, just, and then to say that they are in insane land, because they back the Blue, who are also their enemy, and who are like, I don't fully get where, like, they think anything they do is logical. Like,
the whole back the Blue movement has been collapsing in on itself since the Capitol riots, or like very shortly beforehand.
Yeah.
It basically they're eating themselves alive, and I'm so here for it.
What does chat want to hear about? I think we've talked about most things that I kind of wanted to make sure we brought up tonight. You guys have anything that we haven't talked about that you want to hear? Any questions for Kirtaner before he goes off to play some more Watchdogs? Hopefully.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna play. There's some members of the audience that uh really want to continue to seeing the plot line. I might just mess around with some of the just open world tomfoolery, or I might play something else. Who knows?
Who knows? Whew. Yeah, we've gone almost 2 hours now after the little pause to get started, as we just talked in the chat.
I was making my internet work properly still there, so I excuse the absurd delay. Not much I could do about it. And then I finally got everything ready and realized that I looked like a nightmare creature.
After a few days of fun times.
Yes. So I went and I freshened myself up, and that took a little bit of time too. So apologies for the late start.
No worries. I mean, every week it seems to be one of us that do the thing. But we'll get there. One of these days we will start on time again. I will tell you that this guy has always been ready on time. It has never been his fault. I want to cover that fact clearly. It's that guy or this guy who are always late. One of these days we will all three be on time, and it will be amazing. Although there will be, I'm sure, because I've said this now, that one time where me and Kurt are sitting here waiting on Matt.
Waiting on me. Yeah.
Or that 1 week recently with John.
Yeah, that was I was legit like wondering what was going on, because he's just so on time. So like I don't want to call him like that straight and narrow kind of a guy, like who just is so like how do you put it? How do you describe that person who just is always on time, always does exactly what they said, always like like he's too good at that shit. I am not together enough to be that guy.
Yeah, and like he has ADHD.
Regimented.
Yeah, that's a good word for it.
And has an Adderall script, like the whole works. So he's constantly telling me that he's a mess too, and he's never able to remember or concentrate on things. And I'm like,
he thinks
bullshit.
He's a mess, what does he think of us?
Like, yeah, exactly. I'm like, wow, you're really making me look bad here. You're like, you must have like ADD or something more mild. Wow, you. Whew.
Well, I just want to. I mean, I have to do this because John definitely needs to see what chat uses to describe meticulous military guy, regimented, reliable, punctual, succinct, consistent, competent. I think those all describe John pretty well.
The true everyman.
Indeed. And he was late, so I was like,
he's a model American.
To me, I was.
He even served for his country in the Marine Corps.
He did. He is that guy. I could never be that guy.
And
I get it done, but not in that way.
Then he realized that feds fucking suck, because he did help desk at the Department of Homeland Security for a couple of weeks, and then told them to pound sand. And bless you for that.
Damn straight. Oh wow. Okay. Well, I am actually starting to get a little tired here. Are you ready to start figuring out what you're going to do for gaming?
Yeah. Here, I'm going to put my thing live so that you can.
I can do the raid.
Yes.
So what we're going to do, chat, is Kurt's going to get his Twitch up and live. And as you can see, it gets a little choppy as he starts doing a lot of work over there. So Kurt's going to get his Twitch live. And then once it's live and he's ready to go over there, we're going to do the raid thing, which sends everyone over there. And then we all get to watch Kurt playing some games. With the setup that I now know how to do with OneCast.
Yeah, it's a nice shortcut, isn't it?
That is a neat tool. That was a well thought out little way to do that. Yeah, we love doing the show. Friday nights is always a lot of fun. As I said in the chat earlier, as as Kurt
I
gets
was
set
stressing.
up.
I was stressing and losing my mind and stuff almost entirely because all I was thinking at the end of the day, my internet connection better be working by Friday evening, or there will be hell to pay.
Your fans really do want you to be live on Fridays.
Yeah, that they do. That they do.
And it's always fun. I enjoy this. I always have fun with this. The Friday nights is like the highlight of my week every week. I enjoy it. I love this.
Yeah, it's a great way to unwind. Just
It
go
really
through
is.
the week's events, have some fun. It's it's the chill one. It's the chill one.
Indeed.
We're all friends here. We're all friends here.
We are.
This is actually not quite what you would call a parasocial relationship, which is very rare,
Right.
when it comes to online communities.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Well, so Monday we've got Bear Brown coming back, as I said in the chat earlier, but we're going to be talking more about the projects going on. There's some more announcements, some more help needed, all that fun stuff, but we're also going to talk about, the fun Barrett is having in England right now, and possibly no longer being allowed to stay in England anymore because rules and visas and all that fun stuff, and where he might be ending up. We've got some thoughts on that, but I think you'll enjoy that. We're going to then, after Barrett comes on, we're going to do a couple episodes, and I'm not sure if they'll also be sometime next week or the week after, but we're going to get some other people involved in the projects on to talk about their roles, what they're doing, what help they could use, what they're planning to accomplish, when they think things are going to launch. So there's a bunch of people involved in Project PM, in Project Hastings, Operation Swartz. There's a lot of stuff going on over there, and there's a lot of chatter every day about this stuff. But I think a few more need to come on and kind of talk about what's going on and what we're going to be able to accomplish. And so that should be happening over the next few weeks, starting with Barrett on Monday. So definitely be here for that on Monday. And
oh, I forgot. I because I was dealing with all this crap, I missed a journalist from Vice News contacting me for comment on a piece that on a hit piece on something that I was around as it was first being built up and organized. Some partners on QAnon stuff put together. So I didn't get to respond whatsoever to a hit piece on Vice that just goes in and drops my association with them in there.
Nice.
So that's another fun thing. Like I swear to God, everything possible stupid that could have happened this week, it happened.
One of those weeks, it was piling on.
Yeah.
Yes. And I just try to make the best of it.
Well, chat also needs to understand that there are a lot of people who do actually care about Kurt and want Kurt, doing well out there. So, we all reach out, we all talk, we all make sure, because a lot of the stuff that happens around Kurt happens very publicly. So the shit, is done, not like, people don't just reach out to Kurt and talk to Kurt. No. They decide to do it in, news articles and, giant Twitter threads where they attack. So we all get to see what's going on there. So... yeah,
Louise men screaming around Twitter, bugging everyone, thinking that I might not be alive anymore. That's
oh god,
I have hit. If I'm quiet and people have seen something that looks like I might be in crisis, it's reached the point where prominent former conservative politician nutcase weird conspiracy theorist ladies that everybody and their mother knows are going around and trying to make sure that I'm okay.
That was a weird one, man. When I got added from her, I was like, "Wow, I'm not blocked anymore." And then wait,
everybody was doing a double take. Was like, "Wait, Louise, wait, what are you doing here? First of all, what is happening? And
are you
feeling okay? Do you know who you're trying to look out for here? Just to be clear, you know who that is, right?
Right.
Yeah, right.
And it seems Louise has grown appreciative of our back and forth banter because I am a fun opponent.
Yeah.
I'm a guy that you could absolutely despise to the ends of the earth because I am just ruining your day. But the moment you and I are having a discussion, probably there's going to be laughing on both ends by the end of it, and that takes people off guard. Like,
Indeed.
I'll be reasonable and we'll all crack jokes, and at the end of the day, you'll just be like, "Huh, maybe that guy isn't so bad after all, and your house is on fire." But it's okay.
Indeed. So what game?
Okay.
So what game are you getting set up here?
I don't know. I have to make sure my Xbox even goes.
Yeah. Do you have
online.
one that you want him to play?
Yeah. I'll just load it here. You'll be able to raid me in approximately 1 minute or so. Oh wait. Okay, we got to play the upgrade game first.
Oh hey, yay! Well, we know this game.
Yes. The system update is the game of the year every year, especially on Christmas.
Oh yeah. Jeremy is saying that you should play Minecraft.
I don't. Okay, you want to buy me Minecraft? I have games with. I'm sure there's a way. I don't know. I don't want. Why would I play Minecraft? Why does everybody want me to play Minecraft?
Because we run a Minecraft server for the GreggHoush show for the Discord. If anyone wants to join in and have fun on the server, by the way, it's just you have to be using Bedrock, not Java, and you have to do one of the ways you can get to a custom server, and the server is espionage.io. There is a Minecraft server on espionage.io.
I am so confused. It tells me that I need to authenticate with my network, and now I'm staring at Microsoft Edge.
Nice.
This page will close once you are connected. God damn it, Microsoft! Like, what is this? What the hell is going on, right? Like,
I mean, you changed networks.
Not really.
I know, but like, it's also just Microsoft, and that's all the fun in the world.
True. I'm just gonna assume that my DHCP lease went and crapped itself. So.
Docs.
Oh God, it was one. I don't even care. It's just a fucking fuck off.
I know this one. 255. 255.
Is it not?
Oh, look at you with the big network. Look at you.
No, it's just nmap o.o.o.o all day, every day. Just do it. Just do it. Scan the whole internet.
For no reason, Kurt's sitting here making his network do CIDR math on like giant subnets, like billions of IPs.
I just need to, because there's no way to reset my lease. And oh, great, okay, so of course that happened, because right, I'm changing the network. I'm smart.
Hey, we're still,
I am a highly intelligent person that just spent a couple dozen hours working on network things. So
I remember back in the late 90s when on EFNet we were coming up with new ways to scan huge IP ranges for open ports and banner checking. And we got to the point where the best tools out there, like the Nmaps and whatnot, could scan the entire internet for one open port on a check in like a 3.5-4 week period. And then one of the kids in Woo Woo came at us with a tool that they had created that would hit every IP address from a simple 100 megabit line in about 26 hours. For an open port check, and it did not take a powerful computer, and it sure as hell changed a lot of things, because the next day suddenly someone in that channel had about a 1.6 million botnet of Windows machines, thanks to a certain bug that then got released, a couple years later in DCOM. But that was a fun bug. But getting the scan of every single effing IP in the goddamn world used a lot of interesting tricks in how it convinced things, because spoofing what IP you were coming from was easily doable at that point. There was so much less validation, especially leaving networks. So the scanner was kind of neat. It would send the packet.
I mean, UDP, you can still spoof it. Like, there's entire services that
of
just
course.
give you an index of
But this was a full
ISPs that haven't filtered that shit.
This was a full TCP SYN-ACK and everything. But it would send
wow.
out the SYN from one IP address, but it would send it out with modified edited packets that would say their source address was actually a different box. So
gotta love amplification attacks, right?
yeah, so you were just sending nonstop scattering, and on your local network, you had also an edited network driver that wasn't playing nice with the CPU. Network drivers, if people don't know, are programmed to only use a certain percentage of your CPU for traffic, and you can replace them with edited ones that will be a lot more optimized and send out a hell of a lot more packets and use 100% of the CPU if you're fine with that.
All of the interrupts.
Exactly. And so you had that going, and then it would just smash out all the SYNs. And then on the other IP that was being listed as the source, you just had a logger logging only their responses, only the things that actually attempted to act back for the connection attempt on that port. And so it wasn't getting much traffic. It was only getting the traffic that was probably a legit. It was then sending out the real scan of that port on that IP. And together, the three things strung together would hit the entirety of all IPs in the IPv4 space in about 26 hours, with full port banner checks and grabs. It was an amazing setup, and crew of EFNet kids had that for like a year and a half before anyone else got scanning down to like a week. And they did a lot of fun shit with that.
Yeah, they have 26 hours. That's absurd for the time.
Yeah, it was insanity for the time. But I mean, you know, if you've got that team of people, you can do some crazy shit.
Mm-hmm. So it's downloaded the update, and it is now installing the update.
Oh.
Yep. That's that's why it's always horrible whenever you take a break these days longer than 1 to 2 weeks. Is you end up getting into a state where you are doing a full-on console update every time you turn the damn thing on. My new features and patch cycles are good and all, but
right. It is not that fun when you like get a new game, like a new Call of Duty or something, and you've just got it and it's installed, and you go to run it for the first time. Oh, there's a 6-hour update. Okay, cool.
Or when the update is larger than the on-disk install.
Right? Unless they've really added like 50 more maps or something, you know, and...
But you haven't bought the DLC pass, so you can't use them.
Yeah, they're just there.
Still install. Up all the space. Unused.
This should be another few minutes.
All right, well, we got a few minutes here, chat. What do you guys want us to be talking about? Right now, we're just kind of jabbering on about things. Got any requests for a topic? Not very up on current R&B stars, so I don't think that one works. You know? Mozilla is asking for net neutrality back. Indeed. Oh yeah, there's an HBO documentary coming up on QAnon. It is that in 2 days? When does that actually start? I thought that was like this week.
I'm not sure. Actually, like the guy that did it, that's Cullen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in talks, and like he actually did like a 4 hour video recorded interview with me.
Yep.
And then just like I had a lot of other stuff on my plate coming up, so we kind of fell out of touch. But dude actually has a lot of footage of me from back in like September.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that.
There was like 28 hours of footage of me for the We Are Legion documentary before they finally cut it down to like the 15 minutes.
I have no idea if any of my footage is even going to be in that
thing. So the critics have reviewed it, but they haven't like talked about who specifically is in it other than the Watkins. But they've all panned it as not being good enough in that it allows the people like the Watkins and whatnots to espouse the way of QAnon and their message, and it doesn't take it down hard enough. It kind of is giving them a platform, even though it's couched as we're negative and we're against it. It's allowing them to say everything.
No, man. At this point, you got to treat it like a vicious hit piece if you're going to actually.
Yeah, and it is not a vicious hit piece from all the critics' reviews I've been able to see. So I'm still holding out hope that there's something new in it, but right now it's being kind of talked about as more just asking questions and allowing them to give their answers, which are not things we want the public to be hearing.
Treat it as don't treat it as the sum of its parts. Just treat it for the unseen and unique footage of everybody that was interviewed, I guess. But at this point, it's pretty much impossible to actually do something like that right with all of the harshness that it would require. For some of it, and also not buying into a lot of the half-baked conspiracy theories that have cropped up as people have desperately wanted to have explanations for things, or why things happened, or who is actually involved. It's a hell of a lot of Occam's razor, and nobody wants to admit it.
Yep.
I hate it. Grifter is going to grift. Grifter is going to see an opportunity, and a bunch of dumb stuff's going to happen, and they're going to lean into it. And next thing you know, this is the biggest deep state information operation in the history of mankind. Like, give me a fucking break. Let's see if this is ready to go. And don't get me wrong. Yes, there are big names and big people involved. Like General Flynn, definitely a character here. But to say that it was always like that by design, as some have stated in recent times, God damn it, no. It's at 70% updating. Oh, it looks like it installed a second update. Jesus, I wonder.
Of course, why not? That's how things are supposed to go, right?
Yes. This isn't even like the new Series X or anything, too. Like, I'm still getting all these constant nonstop updates on the old X1X. At least they still support it. Change back so I can see chat.
Yeah, I mean, South Park is definitely interesting. You can tell they've, over the last few years, started to realize that they had a lot of bad takes. They basically made an entire series of episodes apologizing to Al Gore for their attacks on the climate change stuff. I've been happy to see them changing their tone on a bunch of stuff, but that's after 20 years of being a little problematic on their takes on things, which, I mean, is to be expected from a couple of Republicans. I mean, not like they ever hid the fact that they were conservative Republicans. People just thought they might not be because they did things like show up to the Oscars on acid and whatnot. No, they were still Republicans. They were just a very strange version of Republicans.
The libertarian kind.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on. Sometimes these like they're always the same size, and some of them just shoot through, and other times I'm sitting here waiting for a file integrity verification to grind its way out, and then I realize that this thing's a laptop hard drive, and I've got 10 gigs free, and it's probably thrashing and screaming right now. Well, that explains everything.
Indeed. Yeah, I have heard about the last pizza party stuff, Amanda. There, but it's like it's not a like actual union, but it's like a bunch of nurses that are various union members, like going on like TikTok and other social media, talking about all of kind of their complaints about what they're put through, like high patient to nurse ratios and things like that, right? Like, am I close on that one? I didn't pay strong attention to it because it's been one of those weeks. But as I understood it, it was really them kind of airing it out. And the only take I actually read strongly was from a person who was just coming out of nursing school, seeing all of that and being like, "Well, shit, why did I become a nurse?" So yeah, mandated nurse to patient ratios. Yeah, that is sad state of affairs when the nurses aren't treated right. And guess what? It's always been that way.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is.
Any predominantly female occupation, you will always see them being shat all over. Even if it's in the small and subtle ways that you don't notice until it stacks up too much.
Yep. Whew. Yeah, in California they do have the mandated ratios, and there are some strong nurses unions in some of the states. Here in Massachusetts, there's a really strong one, and at one point I showed an image of me and Cornell West kind of walking arm locked at the front of a protest of about 14,000 people, and that was actually organized with the nurses union here in New England. And they brought out like 14,000 people to the event, and we got Occupy, we got Cornell to come and give a talk at Occupy, and then the two of us and his wife and the head of the nurses union got right up front and led them on a march, and it was quite the event. I mean, the amount of people wearing scrubs at that event was like gigantic. It was that was something to behold. Feels like Kurt is trying to load up something. How you doing over there? Have we lost Kurt?
Ha. I am just doing my final switchovers of my audio. No, you have not. I am switching audio over for things.
Okay. Just tell me when we are ready to raid and send everyone that way.
Will do.
Where is the thing? Oh. One of these days I will get organized.
Okay, it looks like it's rebooting finally.
A lot of work to get that stuff up unless you keep it like running literally like every single day. The amount of updates that happen is just it's crazy. Yeah, I mean I haven't met everybody. That's a bit of an overstatement there, but
you're getting up there.
I have met quite a lot of people. And Cornell was definitely one of the ones that I was really happy to have gotten to met. Really just happy to be able to. We got to hang out. We got to talk. And it's one of those ones that I will always remember as getting to meet one of my heroes. Just from the work that he's put in for so long. There aren't many people who marched with Dr. King like arm in arm through some of the worst events left with us, and we got to have conversations about all of that. And that's one of those moments in my life that I really feel like I'm very glad. I'm very happy that whatever I was working on at the time led me to that. It was a lot of fun. And he was honestly just an amazing person to know. Still is, absolutely. Yeah. Here. Yeah, I'm actually gonna do a thing here. Now that I know where things are. You know, I need to get a little better organized. There's definitely some work I could do to make things easier to find on my drives. But that's us there. The woman in the middle is the head of the nurses union, and that's Cornell. That's me with again, you know, standard me wearing all gray, you know, as is my color. But this was a bunch of us Occupy Wall Street kids, and then a bunch of kind of old school, you know, people like the nurses union, like Cornell, like people like that were scattered all throughout this crowd working together, and it was a really great event. Definitely. But yeah, there we are. Back before my hair turned gray. Only weeks before, it would seem. It's been a while, but yeah. All right, so now we need to remember this, Kurt. All right, this is the thing we need to remember. Next time we're gonna do something like this, turn the Xbox on before we even start streaming.
See, I actually did that, except I forgot to go and check back on it.
Yep.
To accept the updates. It's always the little things. Always the little things.
Indeed. I mean, and you know, talking hypos, I want to say this like very clearly. I am pro Second Amendment. I am just also very pro very good sane gun regulation, gun laws, checks, backgrounds. I want the Second Amendment to exist. I want it to be interpreted near how it's currently interpreted, but I want the proper sane checks. I mean, I want them to have the ability to stop the wrong people from getting guns. And you're never going to stop everyone, but the reason you can't stop a lot of them is the simple flood of guns that are on the market. You know, when people say, well, but then only the bad guys will have guns. They won't have access to as many guns if that many legal guns aren't being sold either. It's the amount of guns that exist that lead to every criminal being able to have easy access to weapons. You can work on programs to lower the sheer amount of them out there. You can also work on programs around ammunition. Look at some of the European countries where nearly everyone owns a gun, but ammo is so hard to come by legally that, you know, you've just got a toy unless you really need to, like, prove your point and get some ammo for it. There are tons of ways you can deal with this. I want real sane gun regulations, gun laws, background checks, all of that fun stuff to be in place. But I don't want to just take guns away from the public. Like, I don't think that's the answer either.
Reason it took so long, there is a third 500 meg patch somehow. This is the first time I have ever seen 3 back-to-back updates.
Nice.
On a Microsoft console.
Yeah, I mean, it is his argument. It is his argument. San Antonio typos. That is absolutely how that goes. Yeah, I knew multiple people who did that for a living, homie, when I lived down there. It was just a thing. But I don't know. It's weird because like the Brady group definitely seems a bit compromised and a bit problematic. So I'm not sure that I'm on board with exactly where they want things to go. But
aren't most groups these days compromised at some level?
Yeah.
I mean, all these groups need a lot of money to operate, and that money comes at a cost. Usually, it's your soul.
There are strings attached.
Indeed.
Or even worse, you don't even realize you're a puppet.
Yeah. Indeed. Yes.
course.
We forgot to say Happy
Yeah.
Punch-a-Nazi Day, but yes, Happy Punch-a-Nazi Day.
Every day.
For anyone
Every day.
uninitiated, every day is Punch-a-Nazi Day. Every day.
goddamn day.
Good times. So yeah, this is the best game stream I've seen in a while.
It's
You
the
know?
sequel to Progress Quest.
Oh yeah, good times. I do think we should do like me and you and someone else. Like we'll make sure you end up with a copy of Minecraft for your Xbox. And
I have Game Pass, and I'm pretty sure that Minecraft is being a Microsoft product. It's part of Game Pass.
yeah, if not, it's like $30. So I don't think having one of the people who wants to see it donate it would be hard either.
Damn, they're worse with that shit than fucking Nintendo with
Yeah.
first party games for a previous gen console.
Right?
Yeah, that game is never dropping in price. Apparently.
No, but it's still got just millions and millions and millions of users. I mean, it is crazy. I enjoy the hell out of it. I'm really having fun playing on our server.
There is a guy that works at Twitter that hates waking up in the morning every day because he has to go to work and he has to write up quotes for the latest trends, and he always happens to be that guy that has to write something about a Minecraft streamer.
Dude, Wilbur Soot
it's the
and
most-
Tommy Innit and Technoblade and Dream trend like every single day. Like every day they're in the trends. They have figured it out.
They get more descriptive notes on all of their daily trends than major world-shaking geopolitical events.
Yeah, well, you know, again, if you look at it, like some Dream streams will end up with like 500,000 live viewers. Technoblade at one point had a stream that reached over 700,000 live viewers. I mean, it's the thing, I guess.
The kids, they like that Minecraft and those narrative threads. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that might be, San Antonio, that might be why they're releasing free versions of the actual installable, downloadable Office at this point. Next Generation is supposed to have free versions that are almost feature complete. Minecraft is paying the bills, it would seem. Yeah. And GitHub Pro is probably doing a good job for them.
Minecraft was single-handedly the single most intelligent acquisition that Microsoft has made since the Windows 95 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta agree.
Flat
It's
out.
$2.5 billion, but like, it also meant that
It paid
people
for
like
itself
us,
almost instantly.
it meant people like us could happily play the game because it was no longer in the hands of a Nazi.
Yes, it got a childhood icon of a product and franchise out of the hands of a monster
Yeah.
who would have happily radicalized everyone that reached out to him.
And now a lot of its big users are like anarchists, and publicly so. Like, I mean, again, like I've said before, I love Technoblade streams because like half the time he'll be sitting there ranting about the government and its need not to exist, and the rules on this damn server I'm currently connected to having no meaning, and I'm gonna go destroy the city they built because they think they have some kind of a government, and fuck all government. And there's like 1,000,000 13-year-olds watching it, and I'm like, yes, please.
That's how it's done. That is
Teach
how you
them
radicalize
well.
the youth. The message is getting out there, and it is good.
Indeed. Fuck Notch is right. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those
Let's
weird
hope
things.
that this is the final update. We are halfway done this final update. It's downloaded.
I'm not
it's
gonna sing
verifying.
Final Countdown. I was about to, but then I thought copyright strikes, you know?
Yeah, please. Yeah,
We already got
copyright
hit with a
strikes-
couple of those on YouTube, and I had to edit videos.
copyright strikes, and also like, come on, like some memes, they can stay gone. Like some of them are just no.
Indeed.
No. I hope to never hear that song again.
That was-
I will happily laugh at a Rickroll all day, but
Right. Yeah, Final Countdown was a little too much for, like, it was like all day, every day.
Arrested Development is when it peaked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel really fucking old right now.
Indeed. Chat. Well, we are rambling on and having fun with it, waiting for Microsoft updates to go through. I think I need another nap. I don't know, man. I'm feeling it.
Hey, remember how there used to be that?
I will stare at the ceiling in horror at everything that I have had to deal with in a 72-hour time span unless I do anything to take my mind off of it.
Right?
It was just that much of a mess. Like I didn't even get into half of it, and nor will I.
Right.
Yeah. Woo. But the important thing is that everybody is safe.
Indeed.
At least as safe as you can be in the case of somebody that is now fighting extradition. But be it as it may.
There, for anyone interested in geology for some reason, the gigantic volcano in Iceland erupted today, and it's been 800 years, they believe, since this one erupted. And some of the visuals, there's aerial shots of it, and there's tons of shots from Reykjavik because you can actually see the eruption from the capital. And there's a lot of really cool photos from it. There's a lot of really cool aerial shots, heat maps of the whole thing. But you can actually even see lava flow from the capital. It's such a large event. So if you want to go look at some of that stuff, it's pretty cool.
So when is California going to sink into the sea? And when is Florida going to do the same?
Florida's probably going to beat California there.
Yeah. We have to wait for a big earthquake out in California to send it off when San Andreas finally goes.
Yeesh.
Hey, look, the Government Accountability Office today finally admitted that the U.S. power grid is at risk of cyber attack.
Really? Only like 15 years after that was well established?
I mean, a lot longer than that. One of the kids who went down in one of the big Juarez busts in the late 90s was found to have actually also allegedly had access to a bunch of nuclear facilities from his home computer, a la War Games, style hacking.
Oh, fun.
So, the various systems that be have always been hackable.
Sure, but it was like not even there was a period where it wasn't like publicly established. It was a thing that was true.
I will put it this way. It was called Lulz Security because security at the time was such a huge goddamn joke. The bar has only ever gotten lower. For a good example, take a look at the indictment of Tillie. You don't even got to do anything fun anymore. You just Google it and you're in.
Pretty much.
Completely devastating entire corporations and making hundreds of organizations look like a complete and utter joke. And wow, you're telling me I didn't even need to go and do any SQL injection? I didn't need to go and pop a shell or anything? No, they just left it laying around. Wow. Oh, wow. Geez. Maybe scaring hacktivists away for a decade was against your best interests because y'all got fucking lazy. That's all I'll say. Uh, 92%. Is it like verifying? What is with the integrity checks these days, Microsoft? You're getting really damn slow at this.
Okay. I just went looking, and OneCast does work on the Mac. Is that how you're using it?
What does this look like it is, Greg?
Fuzzy and small.
Okay, I acquiesce there.
But probably
But,
a Mac because the wonderful buttons are over on the left.
Yes, exactly.
There you go. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That blue button was throwing me.
Okay, it's rebooting finally.
Yeah, yeah, good times. You know, I don't know. It's $20. I think we might get some game stream. I do like the idea of doing something really stupid in Minecraft as a challenge. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, and then you can kill me in Minecraft.
I mean, PvP is on our server, but please don't grief. Although I'd love to see you try. I've already got like all the netherite armor and weapons and shit.
And it's in Minecraft specifically. Yeah. I'm only gonna die in Minecraft.
That's all you know how to do?
Oh no, okay. I don't even know if you get that joke. There's no. That is the parlance these days. If you want to make a threat against somebody's life.
Oh yeah, I've heard this.
You say you're gonna do something to them in Minecraft. This has become so widespread that there is actually internal bulletins about that actually being a legitimate way to threaten someone now within the FBI.
That's well, I mean, Minecraft really is life. It is everywhere.
Yeah. That people just got tired of getting shit on by feds for saying that they were going to impede on somebody's ability to breathe or wake up in the morning without getting hounded with criminal charges. So they started adding in Minecraft, but then they picked up on that really quickly. So 4chaners were not happy.
Ugh. So our evil, the malware and ransomware gang, have hit another big company. They hit Acer.
Oh.
And they have all of Acer's internal documents, and their portal on the web is now up on the dark web for buying it, with proof of the fact that they have all of Acer's internals, and they want $50 million for it.
Oh, geez.
And they said, Acer, you can absolutely be the buyer if you want. You get first dibs, but otherwise it's open to everybody.
Oh, lordy.
They have...
it's like a Windows update where it reboots and it's like, oh, resuming update at like 84%.
Oh, right.
They want to remind you that this thing really is just a PC. There you go.
Oh, right.
The weirdest part about it is that you have a My Documents folder on this thing with the worst file explorer I've ever seen in my life, and it only ties into your OneDrive, and you can open Office documents, like you can open an Excel spreadsheet on an Xbox. It is the ugliest, biggest thing that if you were to plug a phone in and have it display on a TV, like it would be more compact and PC like on your phone than it would on the Xbox. I don't even know why they bothered. There is on the Xbox store a whole bunch of stuff you can't even use because they unified it all. You can get Kubernetes control panels.
Nice.
You can install SSH clients and stuff, but none of them fucking work. You can get some keyboard input, but none of the DLLs are present. So half the time you'll install this shit and it can't really do anything.
Right.
You know when Steam got really, really, really bad a number of years ago when they opened the floodgates to indie developers and just everybody was just filling it with garbage? It's like that, but even worse because it's also full of a bunch of people's 30-minute Metro UI development tool scam products that are just a wrapper around command prompt facility or some shit. Oh man, Microsoft does a lot of things right, but this is just like, oh god.
Have you seen Safe Chat yet? Have you played around with Safe Chat yet?
Yes.
It's the new MAGA friendly chat space, but for anyone who
With a
hasn't
twist.
seen it yet, what's
Do
really
you know who owns it?
That's the twist.
yeah,
That's the twist. Actually, that entered my radar a number of months ago.
good old Epoch Times.
Mhm.
Yes,
Gone.
funded by the Epoch Times.
But it's just interesting that all the MAGA people are now on a chat system that was basically built to be an anti-CCP, anti-Chinese Communist Party kind of a platform, and all the MAGA chuds are hanging out there befriending all the like Chinese dissidents, and like it's a very weird mix of people.
That is incredibly strange and also seems like a Falun Gong radicalization pipeline.
Pretty much.
Absolutely, it's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
But they're
I'd
up
like
to
to see
almost
it.
1 million uniques a month now.
Don't worry. I'm sure more people's gaze will turn to it, and they will have a bad day sooner or later. It seems inevitable at this point for any of these awful platforms.
Indeed.
Yeah. As soon as they get big enough to matter, they also attract attention.
Yes. And like just to reiterate, this shit happens organically. It's not like anybody's calling targets. It's just everyone's like, "Hey, look at this piece of shit," and somebody goes and pokes around and, "Lol, check this out, y'all."
Yeah.
Anyway, my shit is now ready to go, I believe.
That's an absolute miracle.
I'm a good boy. I don't do crime. I'm a law-abiding citizen, just like Tillie.
Indeed. The specific things that are alleged against Tillie: 1, selling T-shirts, not wrong. 2, talking to the press, not wrong. And 3, disclosing a massive security problem, the likes of which any competent admin would not have allowed, also should not be illegal.
Correcto. It is the most dangerous and radicalizing sale of cafe press clothing items I've ever seen in my life. And trust me, I've seen a lot. That anarchist persistent threat group, they are a menace. Let me tell you. Okay, now I just can't connect because everything. Okay, apparently on here it said I started streaming, but then it had. Oh, there it goes. Okay, I think we're good. I think you can raid my channel now.
Okay. I mean, if you guys want to actually have a command, especially there, a show where we talk about the Falun Gong and other, religious-based, supposedly moral cults out there that have a lot of problems.
Basically,
I would
you can say all of these cults are the root of all of the problems that we currently have in the world, to varying degrees.
I would be happy bringing on an
Scientology is the
expert.
tip of the iceberg.
We should probably do a show where we bring on an expert to have that conversation, because I'm all for anti-CCP sentiment, but the Falun Gong themselves are not the answer.
No.
That's like, well, I hate the current fascists in the U.S. government. I know. Let's put the heads of Fox News in charge.
If you want an expert on cults and death cults, you should bring on Sarah Hightower.
Yeah, actually, not a bad move. So Kurt, are you ready for the raid?
I'm ready.
Let's go, everybody. We are going to raid.
Flood into my chat.
And if I type in Kurt, what does it do? It says you are live. All right, everybody. We are going over to raid Kurt. Let's go. Yeah, and I will work on bringing on an expert to specifically talk about the Falun Gong and stuff like that. I think that'd be great. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Raid starting, I do believe.
Radicalization pipelines are the exact same no matter where they are.
Oh, yeah.
And also all of these cults are one way or another trying to bring the end of days. So there you go.
Raiding with a party of 66. Let's go.
Cool. Okay, I am going to make my stuff stop melting. And I am going to close Zoom now so
Absolutely.
that my temps go down from 108.
Indeed. This was awesome. Great show. Have fun.
Yep. Have a good one.
All right. There we go.